Archie Luxury, and we are on the Archie Luxury live stream channel. That's where we are. We're on the live stream channel, broadcasting live, of course, always live. We like to do live stuff. Guys, we've got an interesting show today. It is Brisbane. It is Friday the 20th, and for people in America, it is the 19th, of course. So yeah, that is the best way to have everything going there. It is cool. Yeah, we're doing cool. We're doing good stuff. What can I say there? It is what it is. It is what it is. We're here and we are presenting everything for the Archie verse. Today's topic: will Tudor ever be above Omega? That's an interesting thing. I tell you what, both brands are floundering. And I don't think putting prices up constantly is really a cool answer. I think it is a little bit on the, I think it's very much on the tacky side. Very tacky side. It is tacky. It's so tacky to keep putting the prices up. Tudor, in the same token, they have some dogs, real bad. Dogs. Tudor has dogs. Absolute dogs out there, man. The Royal range. I like the Black Bay. I like the Pelagos. I like some of the things they've done, but fuck, they got some dogs out there. Fuck me dead, dogs. Some real dog shit out there, that's for sure. I love my Tudors myself there. Hey, how you going? Oh, you're putting that back up. Thank you. Which one are you charging next?
I'm not sure. There's the outside one that's also charging. I'm gonna put it up there.
Oh, you got another charger. You can take this one and charge this one if you like.
Sure.
Thank you. This is Alex. No, sorry, this is Nathan. You can take it.
Yeah, I'm just taking my shoes off.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. Just charging our security cameras up. Thank you.
No worries.
So, this is the way it goes there. So, let's get some super chats. They've been coming in fast and furious. Patel Philippe, $10. I'm Archie Luxury. Tell me what you mean, nasty, vicious, foul mouth, final fuckers. Think of that. Nice one, Arch. Great bid. Yes, indeed. We have had some nasty fucks on the stream. We always get nasty fuckers on the stream. Nasty, vicious. Oh, which one's that? That's out the front, is it? Oh, you can take the garage one too if you like. If you got a spot to recharge. It is interesting. There are some very, very nasty fighters around. That's the way life works. Ooh. Yes. That's a nice watch, actually. It's a very nice watch. Just someone sent me a perpetual calendar in Australia. Look at that. Fuck. 5159 perpetual calendar. Fuck, that's beautiful. I love it, man. 60 grand. Fuck, HELOC. Full set. It's an amazing watch. $60,000. It's beautiful, Patek Philippe. Yes. So I got to tell you, yeah. So let's get some super chats out there now. We got another super chat. Okay, we got more super chats coming in fast and furious. We have got Sam Davidson, £2. Love the pontiff. Love the pontiff. I think that deserves a love the pontiff. Let's
Come
do
on,
it.
mate, I'm not like the shroom! The shroom! I'm not like the shroom! Answer me call, man. Come on. I'm a big fan, man. Come on. Answer the call, Arch. Love the pontiff! Love the pontiff!
Love the pontiff. That's right, guys. Love the pontiff. Love the pontiff. That's what you got to do, guys. We got Rich Mitch, £2. Top 3 current tutors. Top 3 current tutors. Good question there. Top 3 tuners. What are my top 3 tutors? I got to tell you, okay, so some top 3 tuners. Top 3 tutors. What are my top 3 tutors? Good question. What are the top 3 tuners? The top 3 tuners. Top 3. I'd have to say Black Bay Burgundy. Okay, let's get these fuckers on the screen. You want to see them. You don't want to just point and click and point. The tuners, Tudor watches. Let's have a look here. Tudor watches. What's the top tuners? Let me tell you, I'd have to say, first thing would be Black Bay. I love the burgundy. Number 2, Tudor Black Bay Pro. Black Bay Pro Tudor. That's it there. It's an Explorer 2. Vintage Explorer 2. Fuck, that's cool. And number 3, Tuna. Monte Carlo Tudor. Monte Carlo Tudor. Look at this. I think these are fucking cool. Cool as fuck. The reissue. Man. 2 Reg Chrono. You know what? I'd love to have 2 to 3 piece collection. Fuck it. Fuck these Rolex boys. We got Patel, Philippe, $5. What does Tudor need to do to catch up to Omega? I got to be honest with you there. I think they need to revamp the fucking line. Let me tell you this. See, what Tudor does is they got some really great sports watches. They got dog shit in the dress range. That's the thing that really sucks. It's the dog shit, the dress range. That's what really sucks in Tudor. It sucks monkey balls. I like the new Tudor Chrono, by the way. I think that Tudor Chrono is fucking sexy. Let's have a look. What would I see? You have a look at Tudor. Look, there's a sexy Black Bay. Fuck yes. 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 Look at these black. I love that new Chrono. I love the Pelagos FDX. Fuck yes. Then we go into the Pelagos. Then we go Royal. Fuck. Dog vomit. Dog vomit. Dog vomit. Look at this. The Royal. Fuck me dead. Who the fuck buys this shit? Tell me who buys this shit. Why does anyone buy that shit? Fuck me dead. Fuck. Why? Just fucking uneventful, nothing watches. Absolute dog shit. Why would you buy this stuff? It's not cheap. It's not really cheap shit, is it? See what I mean? The Tudor, the Royal range, fucking garbage. The garbage. It's garbage, man. The 1926. That's also fucking garbage. Fucking garbage. Fucking just design. I mean, some of these things are okay, but fuck, what the fuck were they thinking? This exciting watch range. Got another super chat here, Rich Mitch. It was nice to meet you this morning. Thank you so much, Rich Mitch. We got that super chat. That's the one I started off. Foul mouth, vicious heart. I'm Archie Luxury. Tell me what you mean, nasty, vicious, foul mouth, vinyl fuckers. Think of that. And we got Patel Philip, $2. What is cooler, vintage Tudor or vintage Omega? I fucking hate vintage. I had some. What's cooler? That's a good question. I would say, let's see, sports line or dress line. See, I would have to say sports. I think the tuners might be cooler. The tuners, when they used Rolex cases, they were pretty damn cool. They were very cool. Very cool. Very, very cool. They were very fucking cool. We got a super chat here, Patel Philippe. $5. Your audio is worse than Marcelo's. Step close to the microphone and tell me, would you take a vintage blue Tudor sub or a vintage Omega Ed White? I go for the Ed White, thank you. I like some classic vintage. Vintage is cool. Vintage shit is cool. Yeah. Yeah, vintage. Yeah, vintage is cool. By the way, just breaking news, Tupperware files for bankruptcy. Holy fuck. Can you believe that? Tupperware files for bankruptcy? How could that the company listed 500 US million to 1 billion in assets and 1 US billion to 10 million in estimated liabilities. Fuck me dead. My God, Tupperware. Can you imagine? You imagine Tupperware? I can't believe that. Tupperware. Fuck me dead. Everybody had Tupperware, didn't they? Tupperware. Earl Tupper. That was the guy, Earl Tupper. What is cooler? I like a bit of vintage Tudor. Vintage Tudor, vintage. They're both cool. Patel Philippe, $5. We did that. The audio's garbage. And we got Caruso IT, 59 knock. Hi Arch. I've kidnapped one of the idea developers at Rolex. Rolex Explorer, 38 mil solid gold, white dial coming soon. Hope you are fine. Chihuahua. Ciao. Ciao. Chiao. Chihuahua. Phew. Okay. What can you say about that? Nasty stuff. Chihuahuas. The Chihuahuas are coming. That's what's happening, guys. Chihuahua. 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 What did you, Tudor or Omega? It's a game changer. What do you like better, tuners, or Omega? What are you? What are you into? There's many interesting stuff there. tuners, many interesting stuff. I love them all. I love them all. Now let's see if we can get some panelists on today. Let's see who's available from the crowd there. Who we got there? Let's see. Herman. What's the Herman? Herman's always giving me lousy advice. Do this, Arch. Do that, Arch. We got the Goldberg. He's always good to come on. Hoff. I haven't seen Hoff for a while. What's Hoff up to? Mr. GMT. Let's get him on. We've got the Zeal with the Mostest. He is always cool. I don't know what's happened to Machine Gun. Chris, come on the screen and talk to me, Chrissy. James, we've got OC. He doesn't come on. What's Marcelo? We'd love a bit of Marcelo love now. Jay Anthony, he's a legend. Legend. I got some photos. From Jay Anthony to show you guys. He's got some Langes on the wrist. And I got to tell you, Jay Anthony, I would be upgrading. I think step up to a Lange. Yes, sir. I think a Lange would be very nice in your collection. Lange. Oh, the Lange one. Fuck moon phase, man. That is a beautiful watch. There's some absolute gorgeous Langes. Lange is special. That's the thing. Oh, and an interesting Patek there as well. The Patek Philippe. Thank you so much. The Vacheron. I like the overseas, but I'd keep. Fuck, it's amazing. Okay, that's Jay Anthony. We'll see what we can get out of him there. Marky, I'm going to give him a job. Hey, Mark. You can always do work on my streams. I pay 40% commission split. You would be great at it. We'll see what Marky says there. Marky's my good friend Marky. He wears a Tudor. Marky wears a tuner. Marky wears the tuner. He wears a Tudor. He loves his Tudor. Tudor's a great watch to wear. Tudors are great. Nothing wrong with wearing a Tudor. Always wear a Tudor. Tudors are cool. We got another super chat here. Patel Philippe, $5. Omega Ultraman versus Tudor Black Bay Raspberry. Pull them up. Okay. Pull them up. Omega Ultraman. See, I love the Ultraman. Remember that guy Nigel from Tasmania? He had one of these. This is the Ultraman. Very cool, Speedy. It came in the special box, remember? Came in the special box. That's the Tudor Ultraman versus Tudor Black Bay Raspberry. Tudor Black Bay Raspberry. The raspberry. Oh, what's the raspberry? That's pink, isn't it? That's not the. What's the raspberry? What's the raspberry? Tudor Black Bay pink dial. That's not it. The raspberry. What's the raspberry? Like, I'm lost. The raspberry. I don't know what the Tudor raspberry is. Let's have a look here. Tudor raspberry. Actually, let's see if we can get Eddie. Where's Eddie gone? We need Eddie today. Eddie would be. Where's Eddie gone? Where's Eddie gone? I don't know. That's a good question. Hello. I am. What can I say there? What can I say? Indeed, we need the Eddie. Where's Eddie gone? I'm trying to find Eddie. Eddie, where's Eddie gone? Where's Eddie? Where is he? He's Eddie was a great guy. Oh, Mike the Snakes just let me know he's coming on in a few minutes. Thank you. Eddie. Where is Eddie? Eddie? I love you, man. Yeah, I'll send the link to Eddie. There we go. Get Eddie on. We love Chicago pizza. Eddie, what's Eddie up to? See when we need Eddie, he's not there. When we don't need him. Ultraman versus Tudor Black Bay Rasp. Pull him up. No small photos. Put some effort in, fatso. Act like you worked in waste management. Here we go. 10 minutes responding to the lousy advice in the chat. Pull up the comments. What's the chat today? Archie, have a great show. Make Narc great again. Jock just clean the other men's laundry in the army. Yes, yeah. What? We've got apes. Let's have a look here. What's happening? Apes, hi, HR. I'm always down. Get the tuna, the Tudor Black Bay. Apes, too pussyfied to stand with Joe toe to toe, Jock. Okie dokie. Let's have a look what else is going on here. Tuners. We want the tuners. The Tudors. Tudors. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Apes. HR apes. Do you have a glass jaw? Hey, let's get HR on. HR, jump on, man. I could do with you at the moment. I really could do with him. He's pretty damn good. Let's have a look there. Come on, guys. I need some. The tank is running low. I woke up really good today. I had a amazing time today. Good day today. Good day. I had a great time. A great time today. I did have a good time. And what can I say? What can I say? Indeed. What can I say? HR, hello HR, how are you?
Hey Arch, how's it going?
We got Patel Philippe, $5. Yo, dumbass faker. Tudor Black Bay Rasp. Tudor Black Bay. Rasp. What's the rasp? Oh, this is the RASP. Oh, RASP. There we go. RASP. Tudor Black Bay RASP. Thank you. I'd take the Ultraman. Ultraman, thank you.
Hey, Paul.
Hey, Mr. Tudor, to you, $5. The new Burgundy Tudor on 5 link is superior over the Rolex. Fact.
Arch, can I tell you a story?
Let me just catch up on these super chats. We got
Go
Patel
for
for Tudor GMT or Omega Planet Ocean G. Oh, Tudor GMT. I'd go Black Bay Pro. Fuckaroonies. Black Bay Pro. Black Bay Pro. We got Apes. Apes. $5. Thoughts on the Sullivan Pinoid original? Pull it up. What the fuck is the thoughts on the Sullivan? What's he Sullivan? What the fuck is he talking about? Sullivan Land. What the fuck is? I don't even understand what the hell he's talking about. We got Nucky Poo.
Yes, 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 yes. So Arch, I was at work today.
Oh, wait. So, excuse me, Archie. How you going? But hug, Archie, come here.
Hey,
Give me
no.
a hug. Give me a hug.
Hey.
Give me a hug.
Thoughts?
Come on.
I never heard of this watch.
Archie,
Don't
give me
buy
a,
it.
Archie, give me a hug. Come on.
Give
Come
him
on,
a
reach
hug,
out.
Arch.
No, reach
Hug.
out, both hands. Come on. Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. Oh, that's all I want to do, Arch. I love you, Arch. That's all I just want to give you a hug. All right. You got A grade on here. I'm going to jump off.
Hey, let me say to you, Naki Poo. I got to tell you, HR has the best watch collection I've ever, I would say, for a young man. You are hitting it out of the ballpark, HR.
Yes. But Arch, let me tell you something. I was in work today, and one of the chaps there said, "Oh, nice watch. Didn't they have the blackface in stock?" Oh, I had the bluesy on, so he was trying to put me down. He said, "Did they run out of the blackface one?" I thought, "Oh, you little shitter."
Look, he doesn't. He's just teasing you. You just got to be humble and say, "Hey, people like me, you take whatever you can get." That's all.
No, you know what I said, Arch? I said, "Oh, I don't know. Mummy bought it for me." Yes. He didn't like that. He had a shitty Seconda on.
I like a Seconda. Is that the guy with the BMW?
No, it's someone else, Arch.
I'll
It's
be
someone
back.
else.
Drink of water.
What do you mean you'll be back? You need to have the fridge by the PC, Arch. Let's read the chat. HR's too feminine for my taste. Well, good job you're not dating me, Stormy Daniels. What else have we got here? Hug stick.
Can you send me the pictures? Can you never? Are you on the WhatsApp? Can you send me some pics of your collection? I want to bring up the 3-piece picture.
Send me, Arch. Put your number in the chat, and I'll add you, and I'll send it through.
My wife made some homemade bread this morning. It just makes my mouth dry.
Arch, drop your number in the chat, and I'll send them through, big boy.
Yep. I've just added into the private chat, okay?
Thanks, Arch. Is that with the UK code or not?
No, that's the Aussie code. +61 is Australia.
Ah, okay. Let me see if I can add it in now. And I'll send it over and you can pull it up, big boy.
Apes. I got to tell you, Apes, I don't mind this watch. It's very striking. It's beautiful. But you know what, Apes? This shit, nobody fucking wants this shit on the pre-owned market. On pre-owned, this stuff sinks like a stone. Who the fuck is going to buy this shit? Okay, who the fuck is seriously going to buy this fucking shit? That's what I want to know, Apes. Who the fuck is going to buy this shit? Because it ain't fucking me. Okay, Apes? Holy shit, look at your avatar. Look at that. Fuck, man, this is a beautiful collection. You got some beautiful stuff here.
Pull him up, Arch. Let's have a look. Make it full screen. We want to see the state of the collection. Let's go, Arch.
You must be so proud. Like, I mean, seriously, they're not in focus. Fuck me dead. You ever hold the camera still? I mean, oh yes, I love it.
Pull it up. Come on, Arch. Let the
I love the
punters
baby
see.
stuff. It's got this upmarket vibe, hasn't it? It's got an upmarket vibe.
Yes, yes, yes. Pull it up,
Holy
Arch. Come on.
shit.
Share it.
The bluesy's beautiful, you know?
Pull them up, Arch. Show the punters. Come
Did
on.
you ever get one for the wife? She doesn't
No.
like.
Fuck the wife. Come on, Arch. Pull them up. We're all waiting.
Holy shit, that is so fucking beautiful. Let's bring it up on the screen now.
Bring it up, Arch.
Look at that on the wrist.
Look at it, Arch. It's beautiful.
It's a lovely watch. Are you glad I talked you into keeping it or not?
Yes, Arch. Originally, I didn't think two-tone was my forte, but two-tone is beautiful. And, you know, I'm getting on a bit now, Arch. You know, I'm nearly out of my 20s. Well, I am just out of my 20s. I need to start wearing two-tone. You know this, big boy?
Patel Philippe, $5. Tudor Black Bay Chrono or Amiga Mark II. Fuck, you know what? Amiga Mark II. The Amiga Mark II. You'd have to go Mark II because that is such a special. And the reissue, they went to the coaxial automatic column wheel.
Arch, pull
Another
up the
super
one.
chat.
Pull up the one in my shorts with the 3 watches.
Oh, I
Arch.
will. Patel Philippe, $5. Was the Tudor Black Bay 1 from 2015. Now, what the fuck is the Tudor Black Bay 1? I don't even remember this stuff, you know? Tudor Black Bay 1. What is this?
What is
Tudor
it, Arch?
Black Bay 1. Tudor Black Bay 1. What is this? And that's 2015 images. Tudor Black Bay 1. Tudor Black Bay 1 at only what sells for 100 times retail price. Fuck. The hammer just dropped. Tudor Heritage Black Bay 1 and I... let me explain. Okay, so this is the watch. Is unique. It's very similar to recently did here. The differences are just a few bezel markings. Oh, the bezel's different. Hands. Oh, fuck. Okay, it sold for 375,000 Swiss francs. Holy fuck, that's a lot of money. But hey, that's all good there. Show us some big photos, not girl-sized ones. And we got Patel Philippe, $5. Show me a Mitsusuka Omega Speedmaster Moonwatch and tell me if you like Panda, Panda, Panda. Big photo. Actually, this is beautiful. That Mitsukoshi, that's a Japanese department store. That is the Mitsukoshi Omega Speedmaster. Mitsukoshi. Absolutely love this watch. Now, this is a beautiful, 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 beautiful. I think these are gorgeous. Look at this. It's the... Look at that. That's fucking... It's a fucking beautiful... I'd love one of these. I think they're beautiful. Mitsukoshi. I would actually fucking love one of these. Got a Japanese twist to it. Yeah, I like it. I like it indeed. Fuck, I really do like it. I tell you what. You know what, HR?
You know what?
All you need to do. Let me catch up with these super chats. Then I want to talk to you about your 3-piece. Gun
got to put up
glutton
the picture,
$5.
Arch.
Been over 3 months now, still waiting for Amiga to send a replacement clasp for a 1-year-old $13,000 Amiga's clasp spring broke. I'm very disappointed. Hey, you get that? It happens to the best of us. Don't panic. They'll look after you. Just ask politely. It'll come in. Patel Philippe, $5. Thoughts on the Tudor Black Bay L'Italiano? Big photos. Tudor Black Bay Italiano. Tudor Black Bay Italiano. Italiano. Tudor Black Bay Italia. What the hell is the Italian only? What is this? Which one is the Italian only? Oh, that's the FC Inter Milan, the football club. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. Now let's get back to talking to HR.
Pull up the other picture, Arch. The 3-piece. Pull it up, big boy.
Now, I got to tell you, this 3-piece photo you sent me, this is absolutely sex on wheels.
I want the one of me in the shorts. Me in the shorts. That one.
Okay. I'm calling it up now. How do I know you're in the shorts? I can't tell you're in shorts. How does that work?
Look at my legs.
Oh, I just thought you were... I was looking at the watches.
Look at them. Look at them, Arch. Wow.
I don't like it. It's a bit close there to the case. A little bit close.
That's all right. I scratched it just to make sure.
Where
do I go from here, Arch?
You've got an Explorer 2. You got the two-tone sub, and you got the date just.
Where do I go?
Would you ever add a chronograph, an Omega, or a Tudor?
No, I'm staying Rolex. Because that's what real Rolex men do. What do I get, Arch? What do I need next? Maybe a Sky Dweller? But that's similar to a date just. What do I get?
What about a Daytona? Would you get a Daytona? Actually, how about this? Solid gold Daytona.
Well, I was thinking day.
You only buy new, don't you? You don't buy secondhand, do you?
Yes, I want the AD experience.
It's not worth it with solid gold, I can tell you that.
Arch, I was thinking a day, and then I'm out the game. What do you think?
So what did you buy your mum? So you got did you buy her a 31, did you?
So I'll be honest here, big boy. Initially, I bought the bluesy for mum. She tried it on, liked it, wore it out, didn't like it. I said, okay, well, I'll have that. And then I bought her a date just 31 two-tone. What is it? Is it blue baz? It hasn't come in yet. Mum configured it in Goldsmiths, and it should be delivered soon.
Did you buy it on payments? Goldsmiths has interest-free payment terms.
No, outright, big boy, cash money, baby.
Discount?
I got 10%.
Did you get 10% on the sub? No, or nothing?
No, I got nothing. I got bent over.
It's not terrible. It's not terrible. It's a nice what. Look, it is what it is. Okay.
I did better than you remember how much Mike Snake paid for his Submariner? He got bent over.
Different.
I did all right.
What a fucking beautiful 3-piece. Is that? You could be happy with that, don't you think, or not?
Arch, honestly, if Lord hope not, all watches apart from the sub got burgled, I'd still be happy with just the sub. I love the sub. And Arch, that glide lock is a game changer. It's a game changer, Arch. I love that glide lock. Is beautiful, Arch. It puts the Easy Link to shame. You know this?
Yeah, I agree. Beautiful watch.
It's lovely. Lovely. I mean, Arch, part of me was thinking maybe I get the black sub as well, or is that duplicating?
I don't think you need it. I really don't
No?
think you need. No, you don't need that. But the thing is, what you need to do is you bought all this shit at retail. You need to
Mm.
say to them, "Can you get me a Daytona black dial or a Panda?"
Hmm. I'm not sure I want a Daytona Arch. I'm not sure it's me. I think I'm more of a
You
day-date
need to ask
person.
them for it because that's where the big money is. You bought all this shit at retail.
I'm not, but Arch, I'm not sure I want a Daytona. Forgetting the hype, looking at that watch from afar, it doesn't really attract me. A day-date does.
The day date, okay.
It doesn't sing to me, Arch. I'm not emotionally attached. When that bluesy came out, I nearly wet my pants. It was so nice. The colours, the combo, the bracelet, the glide lock, the satin finish when it goes on your wrist, on the inners of the bracelet. It's a match made in heaven.
I agree. It's beautiful.
Where do I go, Arch? Do I get a Cellini? Or do I get a JLC Reverso? I need you engaged, Arch. Come on.
Look, I got to tell you something, man. We got Naki Leaks here. Hello, Naki. How are you?
I just want to thank HR because I've based my character, my shtick around HR. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Rod Hotels. Right? You don't mind me stealing your shtick.
No, of course I don't, Nark. You inspire me on these streams. I
No,
love
you
mate.
inspired me.
Oh.
You've inspired me. No, this collection is a little bit repetitive. I don't like the black. Is that a black day and black Explorer? No, it's too repetitive.
It's blue, you fucking simp.
Get it? No, the color temperature is off with this photo. So which one's blue? Which one's black?
The Explorer 2's black, and the date just is blue.
A little bit repetitive. What the fuck do I know? I just own smartwatches and a few shitters. No, I'm not happy with this collection.
What the fuck would you buy, Narky?
No, I'm not a big fan of the Explorer.
Ooh.
Get rid of it.
Ooh.
No, get rid of it. Look, you got a lot of corporate dinners. You need something a bit dressier, a bit classier. What about World Time? World Time.
Oh, the World Time.
No, actually, you know what'd be great? A JLC.
What, Reverso?
Actually, the one that Archie has. Would you want to get rid of that one, Archie? You'd love that. You don't want to sell that, do you? I think that if it's the JLC that you love, the one that you don't want to get rid of. I think that if it's perfect.
Snake joining us. No, I've actually put it up for sale just to see how the.
What a coincidence! That's perfect in your collection, don't you think, Arch?
Arch, what about a Tudor Hydronaut?
No, it's a JLC. It's gold.
Gold, Jerry, gold.
No, I'm seriously, HR. It's just it's not doing for me. There's something interesting, something classy.
Look, Narku. No. Hey. Look, if I get a JLC, it's not waterproof. I need to be able to wash the dishes.
When you go to dinner with all the higher ups, you go for a fucking swim? No, you're not. You're going to be fisting with them? No, you're not.
Yes. I mean, no, I retract that. No, I won't.
I got to grab the next super chat here. Patel Philippe, $5. $5. Please pull up big photos and answer this one for my friend Apes. Tudor Black Bay State of Qatar versus Omega Constellation Canqua. I got to tell you, let's get these fuckers on the screen there. I got to tell you, I think personally, you have hit it.
No, it's not. No. While you're pulling it up, now let me talk to HR. I'm going to give you some advice here. It's a bit repetitive. It's a bit repetitive.
Well, you keep saying it's repetitive. Well, give me some input then. Don't just say it's repetitive.
Right? I think you need a dress watch, right? Something classy, something that sums you up, because you're a classy guy. I just think that these three are the type of watches you would buy if you're like OC, right, or Boston Collector. You have no idea. What watches should I buy? What watch should I buy and jump on a watch stream to flex? These are the three.
Oh no, that hurt me.
No, I'm serious. If you've got no idea and you want to flex, these are the top watches you buy.
Yeah,
Commando.
sports watches are in right now. You know.
No. You know what that means? In. Like my daughter used to say, Dad, I want to get some high-waisted pants. I go, they don't suit you. But they're in fashion. It doesn't suit you. You don't follow fashion.
Yeah, but the booze suits me.
No, I said to her, you got to be like Archie Luxury. He doesn't care about fashion. When you say something is in, that means you're following trends, HR.
Yeah, but
you're a trendsetter. I can tell. You create trends.
The bluesy suits me. I walk in with the monk straps.
No, the blues is fine. The blues is fine. I've seen the blues in real life. Okay. Explorer, I'm not a fan of. Get rid of it.
So what are you saying?
A nice reverso, maybe nice. There's some nice dress watches. Give you some dress watches, Arch. What do you reckon?
Well, I've got a date just.
What if
no.
Stay with Rolex. Just very quickly, we got the photos of the Patel Philippe wants to know about the Tudor Black Bay State of Qatar. This is a special Qatar edition.
Qatar.
I like it. These are very popular in the Middle East. And the other one he wanted to talk about was the Omega constellation. Now, I got to tell you, man, Omega makes some amazing special pieces. Now, it's not any Omega. You know what Omega this is, don't you? It's the Kanja. You know the Kanja. The Kanja, man. The Kanja. That's Kanja. It's got that special crest on it. I'd go Tudor.
I don't like the case. Don't like the case. Don't like the proportion. No, it doesn't do it for me. No.
I agree. It's not my style.
Mike, what watches have you got at the moment? What Rolex have you got?
We got a super chat here. Patel Philippe, Tudor Tiger Prince versus Omega Speedy Reduced. Tudor, that's the Tiger Woods. Tudor Tiger Prince. Forget the fucking Speedy Reduced.
Archie, I love that walrus clap. I love that walrus clap. One more walrus clap.
We got Patel Philippe, $5. Tudor Oyster Air Tiger versus Omega Constellation.
Now, Arch, you gotta work out how to pull up the images and blow them up. Tim does that well.
Are Constellations vintage, or have they been making them forever? I seem to remember Constellations with the pie pan dial.
Mike, what Rolexes have you got at the moment?
Maybe I'm wrong.
Mike, what Rolexes have you got?
I sold my Rolexes to get my car, but I have.
Bad move.
I had a James Cameron and a 41 millimeter sub, brand new.
I heard you paid a lot for that sub.
Oh, I did. I paid it at the top.
No, it was tax deduction. The tax doesn't count. To stop trolling him, Mike. I'm with you here. I'm stick up for you. He wants to set you up for the tax jokes. No. You only paid $16,500.
The thing is, Mike, I feel bad for you because you do deserve 40% on this stream. You need to have a word with Arch.
Hey, the whole business.
He gets pizza and shut the fuck up, HJ. He gets pizza and Chinese.
What do you think of the Air Tiger? Look at the Air
Tiger.
Yes,
this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about, HR. Your collection.
This is fucking garbage. What are you smoking?
No. With a suit?
Oh, it's gold plated.
This is garbage.
Yeah, but gold plated. No, when I look at HR, don't take it personally. I don't picture you as a solid gold type of guy. I picture you as gold plated.
Oh, but you've never seen it.
No. But you just want to flex the look. You don't care about the quality. You're a bit of a flexer.
How do you know that? How do you know that? I drive a Skoda. It's not about the look. It's about the quality of the engine.
Exactly. You made my point. Now, this is your type of watch. I'm not saying get this watch, but I'm saying this type of watch.
He drives the best of scooters, you know.
You're gold plated type of guy. No, you're not solid gold. You
fucking idiot.
No, you're not solid gold type of guy. You're gold plated. I'm sorry, HR. I love you. I stole your shtick, right? But you're not got solid gold. Come on. You're not.
That's really offended me, Narv.
I wasn't trying to offend you.
Well, you have.
I retract it.
Yeah, It's just that easy, isn't it?
Yeah, but I'm saying this. You need dressed something like this in your collection.
No, I don't. I could just
No. All right, I'll give you some
listen.
advice. Get
Any
in touch with
analog watch,
what if
any
it's a
analog
sports
watch is a dress watch.
No. You believe in the hype. Contact D. Get in touch with Russia, and he can give you a nice dress watch.
I don't need one.
No, you do.
I'll just take Jakey's
No.
accordion day.
You.
Patel Philippe, $10. Please write a live ad on Gumtree for your JLC compressor. If it sells, send me 1% of the profits for giving you the idea. If it doesn't sell, please tell us about the tire kickers messaging you. Win-win. Okay, I've actually.
Before you do that, that's how you met plastic. So people who don't know,
yes, you're right.
You were advertising, and plastic knew that was you in the ad, and he rang you up and met up with you just to waste your time. Is this true?
Yeah, plastic is a waste of time.
No, but this is true.
You know, I can't even ring Plastic. He has blocked me. Did you know that?
Smart guy. But this is how he met you. He said he was following you back in the day. He saw your ad, and he saw the address. He goes, "That's Archie Luxury. I'm going to troll him." So he turned up and wasted your time. You got upset with him. You told him to get fucked. Is that right? Is this true? Is this true, Arch?
Yes.
Then there was a bond created between you two. You became friends.
He's such a fucking great friend. He's blocked me. He won't even take my call. My phone number is blocked on his. What sort of friend is that? He's a fucking lousy friend. I tell you who else is a lousy friend. Is
Sovereign. Yes.
Friend.
Have you still got his desk? Burn that desk.
No, he fixed. That was my desk. He just helped me fix it up. But you know, he thinks he was such a mate. He's a lousy fucking mate. Lousy.
Yes.
Lousy. He's a lousy mate.
I threw you under the bus.
They couldn't give a fuck.
Did I give you any hugs? Did I give you any hugs? No. I can't believe they abandoned you, Arch. Seriously.
I'm gonna do an ad now. Let's go listen to Tan. So what am I selling?
Lousy mateship. You're right, Loose Tooth. Lousy mateship. What about Aussie mateship? You had two bogans and royalty there. Can't believe they blocked you.
Yeah, they're not really my friends. You know this, don't you?
No, fuck. That's a fun disgusting.
They were never my friends.
No, never. I'm your friend, Arch.
Fucking lousy friends, okay?
Where are they now?
They were lousy friends, okay?
Yeah. By the way, where's HR getting all this money from? Is he? Did he buy his mother a watch? With whose money? Her money? Is he embezzling her funds? Seriously, is he embezzling? Look, he's a wage cuck. Where's he getting all this money to buy these watches? I'm telling you now.
Maybe his mother's deciding to spoil him while she's still here or something. You know.
Mike, I didn't get it. Right, Mom, I'm gonna buy you a bluesy. Who the fuck does that? Unless they're a millionaire. He says he's not a millionaire. He's got hold of her finances, and he's spending his money. That's something Arch would do.
Sure, but you know what? There's millions of people in this world, and there's a number. You know, obviously a number of every particular type, and one is the type to do.
Yeah, you wouldn't do that, Mike. Mike, you wouldn't do that. You pay your own way. You pay your own way, don't you?
I don't have any credit to speak of.
Yeah,
so
but you pay your own way. You don't rely on anyone else, do you?
No.
No, this is your house. You don't rely on your family. You don't rely on your mother. You don't rely on your brother. You're a man's man. You do your own crap. That's what I respect about you. You pay your taxes, pay the tax on the watch, and you don't give a fuck. You're standing up on your own, Mike. That's what I love about you.
Oh, thank you.
No handouts for you. You know what about you? You don't like receiving
Well,
handouts.
I do. I do have this handout thing going, like trying to
No, no.
get to New York for the Watch Time New York this year.
Yeah, that's not working,
Oh.
Mike. That's a disaster. Okay.
No, Mike. Seriously, you should be
I'll
proud.
just not mention it anymore.
Oh, I got a call. 1 sec.
Hello? What's he doing now?
I've got some orders I have to fulfill. Fucking chicken fucking orders. Who wants a chicken at this time? And it's fucking 9:41 a.m. Can't they fucking wait till 12 o'clock? Well, I'm gonna spit in the chicken. I'll be back. Mike, I love you, buddy. Seriously, some things I've said to you out of line, I'm gonna retract them.
Thank you,
I
Mark.
appreciate that.
Thank you, Nark.
Thanks, Mark.
Where's JJ? Where's Half? Where's Toyota Mo?
Arch, I really think you could patch things up with JJ, and I think
No, he's a snake. He's a snake. He's in bed with OC
I really
now.
don't think he's that big of a snake. I
No,
don't think.
he's in bed with OC now.
Well, everybody jumps in bed with everybody in this business. It's a big fucking orgy,
Speaking about orgies, how's your housemate? Do you jump in his bed at night?
No, my housemate is the most. He's brought like literally one of the few things that's actually brought like noticeable happiness back into my life.
I'm glad you found your life partner. Look, I'm glad, Mike.
I do, because I'm not lonely anymore. I'm not alone in this house.
Look, you're lacking intimacy. I'm glad you found it.
Well, we don't have intimacy, but we,
No, you call it what you want. Call it what you want. It doesn't matter.
I like the way you push through, Nark. I love the way you do that. You know how to play this game, don't you, Nark? Nark? You love it, Nark, don't you?
Yeah, of course he does, man.
He
That's
likes
why
to
he
push.
jumps on these streams. He's not a watch guy, but
Got
he's on a
Mark
watch
Over,
stream.
the greatest
AJ,
in the world.
Mike,
Mark.
Zim.
Okay, I have listed. I have followed Tan's advice.
Orange Monster.
I have listed the JLC on Gumtree.
Ooh, Gumtree, the discount eBay of Australia.
Yeah. So should I put something about tire kickers?
Tire kickers encouraged. Please ask questions and feel free to give me your lowball offers. Lowball offers, welcome.
Was
Archie.
it you that mentioned you had a Doxa?
I do have a Doxa, the orange Submariner.
What size is it?
It's kind of big. I think they're like 42, 43 cushion case.
Okay. I got a thing for Doxa. I really like the orange lenses. That's why, in researching the Orange Monster is kind of an iconic watch, and I paid $135 for it like 10 years ago, and now they're like $1,200.
Well, I got an idea for you.
Hey, I was thinking, you want to trade?
Trade what?
Trade your Doxa for my
Orange Monster?
Orange Monster?
No, and I'm gonna. You have the Monster. You don't need the Monster.
Oh, I'm wearing it.
I gotcha. Listen,
I love it.
The Orange Monster, the second gen with the vampire teeth.
I have Gen 1.
Oh, that's a nice one, but it's not the hot one.
The hot one is the second gen with the black outlined.
Yeah, Mike, you'd be about $900 short on that trade in value.
All right.
Way short.
All right, forget my offer then.
But Archibald, you know what? I think you can get some mileage out of the Gumtree listing, because what I think you could do is, you're going to get beat up, you're going to get stupid questions. I think you should make a video or two about the experience.
Yes.
What it's like selling, how to sell on Gumtree, how to sell on eBay. I don't know. I feel like that would get some fun views.
I have done the ad. Okay, low ballers, welcome. Jaeger LeCoultre Master Compressor 2, Master Compressor Chronograph 2, and 18K Rose Gold 18.4. Full set, box and papers, recent 2024 JLC service. The Shago LeCoultre Master Compressor 2 features 41.5 mil 18K rose gold cow surrounding a black dial.
You want to bring up the listing? You could show us. Also, just be aware you got a couple super chats stacking up.
Super chats. We got some super chats. Let's get onto these super chats. We got Jefferson Exotic, $5. This panel is A grade. Stir the pot. It's all about the money. Yes.
The
Yeah,
money.
Mark.
Hopefully
About that
$5.
money you owe me, Mark.
Thoughts
Right?
on the
Yeah.
Tudor Heritage Advisor? Pull up the big photos and discuss. I actually loved the Tudor Advisor.
Oh, I really, really want one, but I will not pay that $5,000-6,000 for it. They just have never come down. You never find them cheap, which is amazing because nobody likes them. Why are they so expensive? Mikey, just back to the Doxa real quick. Although it's a pretty big watch because of the cushion case, the dial portion of it's actually rather small.
Okay.
So it wears nicely.
Do you have the beads of rice style?
Yeah, it has a beads of rice bracelet with the quick adjust ratchet, system on the
Very
clasp.
cool. I didn't know that. I wasn't aware they had that.
Yeah, I really like it. And they're somewhere in the $1,200 or so vicinity.
That's where my Orange Monster's valued at right now.
No,
Gen 1s. I've been told.
Well, I would question that. I don't think so, because the Gen 2s right now are in the $700-800 range, and they're worth more than the Gen 1s. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay, then I'm off. Then I'm off base. Then
we'd have to look on eBay.
In the world, you're not going to pull anything over this one.
You know what, though? Look at the Tudor Advisor, the current one, the steel. It's big, it's brawny, it's cool, and it's stupid money.
Yeah,
you're looking at the vintage.
This is the new one, isn't it?
No, nearer.
Is that the new one?
Click it. I can't see.
This one here? Oops.
Well, nope.
What the hell is this stuff?
Nope. Nobody.
It's the old vintagey one.
Yeah, those are cool, but I like the new one, which is much brawnier.
That's the new one, isn't it?
Yeah, I think. Yes, I believe it is.
It's a bit lost, isn't it?
What's that word
It just
mean?
seems very confused dial, doesn't it?
There's a lot going on there, huh? And it's thick. What's the price on it? They're kind of dumb money. I mean, it's a cool complication, but it's like a jacked up cricket. Let me look up and see what they...
Yeah,
agreed. A little busy. That's really kind of...
they might be coming down a little. I'm seeing one here for 3,800. And a couple years ago, they were like 5.
Wow, they were 5?
Oh, yeah, every bit. So I feel like they're coming down a bit.
They're coming down a lot, man.
Yeah, here it is.
Coming down a lot. You know why? Because they're toxic, man. They're toxic shit.
Yeah, no, they're terribly difficult. I'm going to see if I can steal one for 2,500. That'd be all right. But what there is there's that little where you're seeing the subdial with the red on it. That's the power reserve for the alarm function.
Oh, wow.
And then that subdial at 6 o'clock is the date. And then you're also seeing a seconds hand. I believe that's the alarm indicator. That's how you set your alarm. And then you can barely see it. Yeah, well, on yours you can see it better. At about 8 o'clock, you see a steel seconds hand, and I think that's just the seconds hand of the watch. But the red one is indicating the alarm. So that is a lot going on there. A lot. And
I
I
got to
think
tell you something. The thing about it is, I don't understand that little button that says on. You see, this says on next to
that's
the
how
9.
you turn. That's how you turn the alarm on and off. And there's a that's what the side button is for, I believe. So you have one crown to deal with the watch. You have another crown to deal with the winding the spring for the alarm, and then the button on the side is on and off for the alarm. So it's a lot of little fidgety fiddly things, but I think it's kind of cool. I do. I don't like that it has no loom, but anyway, there we are.
That's a lot crammed into a watch, but
It is.
they've definitely done it nicely for cramming it all into a watch.
Yeah.
You know, with so many complications.
It does have loom. Daniel Fernandez is mentioning it on the hands. I don't know how much there is on the hour, on the hour indicators, but I can maybe a little dot for the.
I got to tell you something. The thing about this is, I've never really been a big alarm person. Have you been an alarm watch person? You know, the
No.
Vulcan cricket that used to do it.
Right, those
The
are cheap.
Vulcan,
Those are
you
cheap.
had the JLC, had the Memovox. Remember the Memovox?
Yeah, that would be the good one in this field, but I don't know. I never had one.
It's like a poor man's minute repeater.
Yeah.
Like he needs to wake up to get to work. It's a class divide. Do you understand?
Yes. Okay. Well, I think, isn't there another super chat?
We got here is Patel Philippe, $2. Show me a 1958 Omega CK2915-1. Now these are special. These are special. Omega CK 2519-2915-1. This is a rare watch. You know why they're so rare, don't you?
We don't.
Well, they're 1950s. These
Well, that'd
really.
Because they weren't waterproof. They're probably all dead and corroded now.
Omega. Look at this beautiful browned one here.
The kitten thought that was funny.
Absolutely. Look at the aged, everything about this. There were 3,000 of these made. Look at them. Just fuck. Isn't that the coolest Speedy you've ever seen?
Is that a reissue or is this an original?
This is an original.
Ooh,
and this one here sold for 80 to 120,000 Swiss francs.
Yeah, that's like 110,000 US dollars. That's a lot. It's too much.
Fuck. What do you think, Mark?
I think the color is phenomenal. Like, look at that aged, and I see why they put it on that leather background, because it's a very warm, chocolatey, beautiful, beautiful watch that's aged incredibly well. Look at that.
I would call it tobacco color.
Yeah, there you go. Mike's got the right word. Thanks, Mikey.
We got a super chat here. Patel Philippe, $2. Chow Min versus Chop Suey. Show me both.
One is isn't one with a lot of vegetables, and then the other is like noodles. So one is
Chow Min. This is Chow Min.
Chop Suey is vegetables with bean sprouts, and then the other one's like noodles.
That's Chow Min.
Maine, not Min.
And
Maine,
versus Chop Suey. So Chop
That's
Suey uses that sauce. You know, the Chop Suey sauce.
No, we don't know that. It's veggies with bean sprouts.
There you go. Chop Suey. What do you prefer?
I'm kind of more like a chow mein kind of guy.
But this chow mein looks like, that Chop Suey looks like chow mein. Don't you agree?
I guess it depends on what restaurant. Mikey, you're the Chinese restaurant.
Tomatoes, potatoes, tomatoes.
I've always got chow mein myself, which is
chow mein guy.
We got a super chat here from Thomas Burnett. Burnett, baby. And Thomas Burnett says $2. 1970s Tudor Monaco versus Speedmaster 125. Pull it up, Fatso. Pull it up.
Monte Carlo.
1970s. 1970s.
Isn't that a square? Isn't it square? Is that their
Mr. Carlino. That's the transvestite in the bar.
Oh, there it is.
So this is the Tudor
I really like
versus
it.
Speedmaster Omega. It's an Omega Speedmaster 125.
Oh,
Fuck, it's ugly. Fuck, it's a square. Who the fuck? Oh my god.
ooh.
Fuck.
It's got
I don't
that
like
old
it. I don't
dial,
like it, Mike.
vintage
What do you
dial shape.
Very 70s. I mean,
Yeah.
but really, you know, that Omega screams 70s.
Are
The
you a
Tudor,
Nixon man? I'm a Nixon man.
the Tudor has aged well. I voted for Nixon in the fourth grade mock voting, you know, where they took us into the machines and you could vote for Nixon or Humphrey, and I voted for Nixon because my dad's a Republican, and that's who he was talking about.
How about your granddad with the Buick? Who did he vote for?
You know, I don't know, but my best guess is, God, I don't know. I don't know. These are good questions. I should ask my mother who her parents used to vote for. But my mother was actually my mother up until John Kennedy came along. She was a Republican too.
Oh, you're joking.
No, no. Matter of fact, actually, she liked Goldwater, who was like, and that was after Kennedy. So my people were very, very conservative back in those days.
You know, I have some super old vintage Goldwater campaign items like pins and
cool.
things. Yeah, I just remember the name Goldwater.
I got to tell you something, Mikey. You know what? Campaigning, I got to tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
I really dislike most of these politicians. They are slimy sons of bitches.
I think it comes with the business.
Yeah, I mean, who wants that job?
Yeah,
you're always picking between the best of the worst. I mean, that's my theory.
Yeah, exactly. And
I got to tell you something. I was a huge Kennedy fan. I liked Bobby. They were
John or RFK Jr.
I got to tell you the truth. Okay, so I liked Bobby. What's the story that they were both doing Marilyn Monroe? Can you explain that?
Bobby was going to be elected, and then he got murdered right there in the hotel, like nuts, by Sirhan, who I believe is still in jail. Crazy.
Fuck. I don't understand why people want to pull out guns. That's so awful.
Well, yeah, gun violence is terrible in this country, and political gun violence is awful. It's just terrible.
I think though, I'm not sure, but in a lot of third world countries, like, you know, the guns that are actually being used are like by gangs or terrorists, you know, like larger organized groups, you know. So if you look at like the death per capita rate, like America's, even though everybody's got a gun, we're not like the top of the list as far as people being shot.
You'd have to look up statistics for gun violence, but man, there's an awful lot of schools in the last month, 2 of them.
Wow. Yeah. No.
In fact, it's gotten to the point where we barely notice it anymore. You know, it's just, if I was a parent with kids in high school right now, or even middle school, I would find it very, very nerve-wracking. It is scary stuff. My daughter, when she was in college, her school was attacked, and she wasn't in the building, but it was her particular college within the university, which was the geology portion, and one of her classmates was killed. And you know, you think to yourself, Jesus, right? No, and you think to yourself, there, but for the grace of God, you know.
You know the big shooting that was in, I think, I can't remember the state, but it was the guy went into a shopping center and shot up like 20 people.
Which time?
Yeah, it was like a couple.
This is an awful. Listen. Can I make a suggestion? We need to make a U-turn now, because this topic is considered by.
I get some super chats happening here. So I got to tell you, 1970s Monte Carlo versus Speedy. We say Monte Carlo Dr. Bob's Nightmare, $5. Mark Goldberg, my Shibu got
Sheba.
shucked 4 times in 3 months. Skunked. How do I make him learn? Let him go for 5. Trouble in California.
Okay, well, a couple things. First of all, the best thing, I know you didn't ask this, but the best thing to clean him with is not the tomato juice stuff. That doesn't really work very well. There's a product called Skunk Off. Skunk Off. You can get it on Amazon. It's a spray. You use that first, and then after that, you dunk them in water and use the shampoo because the skunk spray is very alkaline and very oily and sticky. So Skunk Off spray number first, and then bathing them in the
There we
Skunk
go.
Off.
Skunk Off, and just bringing it up on the screen for you.
Yeah,
Skunk
neutralizes that.
Can I
So
post
you-
my Amazon affiliate link for this, Mark?
Of course. So you see there in the first row with the spray handle. And anyway, so this is the stuff you want. But, to teach them not to do it, you're going to need an e-collar. Of course, I wrote a whole book on how to do that the nice way, meaning the gentle way with some coaching and preparation first. But a lot of people just put a shock collar on there. And when they take off after one, they just zap the living crap out of the dog. And I am not in
Can I
favor of
ask you
that.
something? If somebody's
I'm not in
dog
favor.
gets sprayed by a skunk, okay?
Yeah.
And then they come into your automobile, will the car smell as well, or what?
Yeah, for months and months. If you run over a skunk, it gets into your wheel wells underneath in the undercarriage,
Yeah.
it comes up into the car, and it will be weeks and months.
It will
Yeah.
go, but you're telling me it will go?
100% it will.
Yeah.
It is
Any
one- it's-
advice
it's
on getting rid of it?
skunk off. Yes.
So and how bad do skunks smell? Can you turn it into like Creed or something?
No, it would make you vomit. It would make you hate yourself.
Yeah, a skunk from a distance when you can just barely, catch the little hint of it.
Smells like weed, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly, like skunky weed. And I don't actually mind that smell, but when you get right up on one, or you run
reminds you
one,
of the good old reminds you of the good old days.
no.
Actually, Mike,
have you ever been sprayed by a skunk?
never. It's they don't spray people unless you fuck with them. So
Yeah.
listen, here's the thing, Mike. Because you're always with the fun facts. Here's a fun fact for you. Tell me, do you know this? In gas, the kind of gas that's piped into a home, they add synthetic skunk smell. It's synthetic, but they add skunk smell to it because otherwise you wouldn't know if your gas tap was
Because
on.
it's an odorless gas. Yeah.
That's right. So what
It's
smell
called
did they use?
sulfur. It's called sulfur dioxide.
And they use skunk smell so that you can detect
Yeah.
it.
It smells like rotten eggs or skunk.
Yeah, and that's
it's
something that they
called-
artificially add to the gas.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm very well aware of that.
Mikey and me, we're Mike and me,
100%.
Mike.
Mark,
There we go.
Wonder Twin Powers.
So if you Wonder Woman. So if you want to make your dog stop doing it, you're going to need an e-collar. If you want to learn how to do that the nice way, so it's not very traumatic for the dog, get my training book, The Art of Training Your Dog. If you don't care, well then just zap away. But I don't like that solution very much. But if you know what you're doing, it works. It's done all the time in this country to teach dogs to avoid rattlesnakes in areas where rattlesnakes commonly kill dogs. So they just defang or they tape the rattlesnake's mouth shut, or they put them in a box where the dog can smell it and see it, but there's a screen, can't get bit. They let the dog stick his nose on the snake, and then they push the button, and the dog jumps up in the air and screams and never wants to go near another one again. So I don't love that kind of training because I specialize in doing it in a more elegant, compassionate way. But anyway, that's what some people do.
Does it work?
If your timing is right, if you know what you're doing, yeah, it does. Takes a bit of effort. You got to know what you're doing. If you want to do it the nice way.
Tire kickers coming back for the watch.
What?
Tire kickers.
Oh, good. Well, like I said, save all their comments, their questions, make a video or two about your experience. It'll be fun.
Yes.
It will be fun.
They're coming out already.
Yes, exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
How long has it been listed? Why don't you, you want to get us on there and show us, or you're afraid to show the account?
Yeah, no, we just
Yeah, I got it. I got you.
You know,
Guys, if you're listening to this broadcast, please do not go onto Gumtree. Identify a JLC master compressor for sale made out of solid gold and like screw around with the seller. Please don't do that. Thank you.
screw around with the seller.
Yes, don't do that. Unless, of course, you want to give him content.
Any good Buicks around? Buicks. Your father was Buick.
I was looking at cheap. I Googled cheap leases, and there's a ton of different Buicks that you can lease for $299 a month right now. I think they're trying to blow them out. Super chats.
Yes, super chats. I got to tell you, man.
Here, I'll put it on the board. We didn't do that one. On the board.
Here we go. Thomas Burnett. 1960s Tudor Commando prototype versus 1960s Pro Prof 600. Pull them up, baby. Pull them up, baby.
Isn't Pro Prof is so hard to say?
I mean, that was an interesting watch.
Yeah, it is. It is an awkward word.
Say it 3 times fast.
Plo Prof, Plo Prof, Plo Prof.
Sounds like you have a speech impediment, though.
I know.
That was the Tudor. See, they turned this into the P01. I love this watch.
I love the P01.
And the other watch he's talking about is the Omega Pro Prof. That they are, it's the Plo Prof 1960 600 meters, because these were amazing watches. Fuck, they were amazing. I've actually owned one of these. They are fucking.
It doesn't always. I tried it on once in Mexico. I would 100 times take that Plo Prof over that horrible Commando. They should have let that die instead of bringing it back. The Plo Prof is very, very cool.
Yeah, when you say twice the watch, it is literally like physically and figuratively.
Every time I say Plo Prof, I wind up spitting all over my keyboard, Mikey.
Yeah, it's a big monster of a watch, but
it is.
If there's not a tool watch in this world that screams, "I'm a tool watch,"
I'm a tool. Mikey, tell the punters what that red button on the right hand side is for.
I believe that releases the bezel. So
that is correct, sir.
You can turn the bezel and set it, but it's impervious from being knocked out of whack.
That is correct. Look at you knowing your stuff.
Yeah.
Yep. If you're down on the coral reef and you get bumped into some brain coral, you're not gonna knock your bezel because it is locked in position.
Yeah, I could see diving under, down there, dealing with rocks and hitting your bezel and having it move a few clicks.
You would shorten your dive. I mean, at least you wouldn't lengthen your dive, which could be lethal, but you would shorten your dive, which,
Wouldn't it? Wouldn't it lengthen it? No, it wouldn't. It would
shorten it. It's unidirectional in favor of shortening the dive if in case of accident.
Yeah.
Correct, Amundo. Of course, nobody uses these for diving anymore. The dive computers do all the hard work.
These. I love the shark mesh here. They also have them.
So nice.
Yeah.
So
Mark,
cool.
you Pro Prof?
I've never owned one. When I was in the Omega boutique in Mexico City, I made a video about watch shopping in the boutiques in Mexico City, very high-end boutiques. And the video is titled "I Got Arrested" because these dudes came at me. All of security there wears like 3-piece suits, and they have Uzis under their jackets. And I was doing unauthorized videoing there in Omega and IWC.
I'm proud to be an American. At least I know I'm free.
The Mexican watch cartel nearly gunned me down.
Cartel.
But in the Omega,
Sorry.
In the Omega boutique, I did try on the Plo Prof. They wanted to give me a nice little discount too, but it was still very expensive. And
it was.
Yeah.
Still is.
It is, but it is amazing. It's not
You know,
easy to
Paul,
wear,
Paul,
but
he loves the
cool.
white dial ones. You like the white dial?
That was the one I tried on.
I like the
Liberace
darker
version.
dial.
Yeah, and if I recall correctly, it was on a white rubber, Omega rubber, so it was very white, all of it.
The one I tried on had the snake skin metal bracelet. You know, the really fine, super fine mesh.
Oh, like
metal
Milanese
bracelet.
Milanese mesh, I believe.
Yeah. Okay. Is that what it's called?
Well, I never heard it called snake skin is a thing, but that's leather, right?
Well,
Yes.
yeah. I guess. Well, it had that. What do you call
Metal.
that?
It's not leather. It's not metal. It can't be snakeskin if it's.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about a metal
Mesh.
bracelet that it was offered with
Shark mesh or Milanese? Shark mesh.
wire
We
mesh.
got another
Okay.
super chat. Patel
Sorry.
Philippe, $5. Panel's thoughts on the Rolex Commando. What do you think of the Rolex Commando? Have you
Jeez,
seen
I never
that?
heard of it.
Rolex
Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Commando.
Qu'est-ce que c'est? What is it? It's going to be old and
Look at
flimsy
this.
though.
Look at this Rolex Commando. Fuck.
Doesn't
That's
that
a
look like
nice-
an OP?
like an Explorer,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Looks like an OP.
An Explorer or an OP, even because of the way that the bezel is. I mean,
I love it.
do you? Looks like a 1016. How much is that one? How much can we get this for? I bet it's not a lot. Or am I wrong?
Let's jump on Chrono 24. Are you a Chrono 24 fan?
I'm an enthusiast. How about you, Mikey?
It's usually my first go-to just to get an idea of rough pricing.
Woo! 10,000? Damn. That is a lot for a beat up little old 32 millimeter, whatever it is.
Yeah, but the fucking hell! Look at the prices here, Marky.
Oh, come on. These are rare, I guess. But
Look at this.
this is outrageous. That 10 grand looks pretty good now, doesn't it?
I think this is where I may have seen really high listings for the Orange Monster because they had a lot of them, and the price is varied.
You got to remember, Marky, they're not
greatly.
getting this. This is what they're listing for. They're not.
Sometimes they don't even have the watch. They're just
Of
trolling
course.
for people to inquire so they can go
This is
source the watch.
1969 Rolex Oyster Commando, right?
Look at that dead, nice chocolatey loom. Yeah. All right. That is an old ass watch that I never heard of.
Is it a 36 or is it bigger?
Frank and honest. It's probably 36, 34, 36 be my guess. 34 or 36.
This I think was. This is the Leo Mackenzie watch. Who the hell is Leo Mackenzie?
Well, he is the Commando guy, apparently. Oh, it's manual only. That's a manual wind.
Oh, I love that about
That's
that.
interesting.
Love that.
But we don't know how. What's the size of this booger? Oh, it's little. Look how little. Maybe it's 32 even. 34.
Wow.
See that wrist shot? Boy, did they make crappy clasps back in those days. And they persisted in those crappy clasps for, ooh, what is that? That's a lighter.
Yeah, that's his custom Zippo.
He was a somebody. I think the story is probably cooler than the watch.
Yes. Rolex Commando. You know, I'd like to think in years to come, it's 34 mil, by the way, 34 mil. I like to think in years to come, Marky, someone will be savoring the dog trainer's watch.
Well, maybe they'll name, watch the Archie edition. Like, you should design a watch. What would it be? We all want our own watch. What would it be?
Oh, Marky, I gotta tell you, look, I've had a number of beautiful watches.
Yeah, but your own unique sort of signature.
I don't really care. I love so many. The Explorer 2, the Rolex. I love them all. I love everything about watches. I love them. We've got some more super chats. They are coming in really fast here. Patel Philippe, $5. Mike the Snake, select a Seiko for Archie to pull up and talk about. Chingao, Fikers.
I know instantly the watch for Archie would be the Seiko Presage Cocktail Time. And
I don't think Archie wants the Presage.
It's a nice dress watch, and
The
it has
Archie?
a lot of different dials.
Okay. Archie, you're
Let's bring it up, baby. Let's bring this baby. I'll bring up anything. So what does Mike talk about?
Seiko Presage, Presage.
Seiko
Cocktail Time.
Presage. I love the Presage line. I reckon that is quality Omega. My favorite.
Actually, it's
like
Seiko.
that.
It's
Here,
not
I like
Omega
this
at
one
all.
here.
It's
Look at this.
Seiko.
I love that blue. Look at that.
It's Seiko.
I bought
Seiko.
that exact same watch for my old ex-boss because he had a Panerai, and then he broke down and finally told me, I can't keep lying to you, it's fake. And it affected me so much that a year after I stopped working for him, I had some extra cash and I bought this watch. They're about $500, but I bought him this exact watch, same color, same pattern, dial, and everything, and gave it to him as a gift, saying, "Okay, now you have a real watch." Because I really think highly of the Presage Cocktail Time. Yeah, they have so many wonderful dials.
I'm going to highlight, Mike. We have a question here that I think is worthy of addressing.
Sure.
Go ahead. It's on the board, Mike. You read it.
Am I heartbroken about Eddie's fake Daytona?
I just thought that was funny.
No, I'm not heartbroken.
All right. So we should move along, Archibald. What do you think?
Yes, we got next super chat is Patel Philippe, $5. SLA 033 Willard reissue. Pull it up, Dr. Bob, a fellow Tudor loving punter.
That actually, the Captain Willard is very cool, and the reissue is also cool. I think it's a little bigger. Mikey, isn't it a little bigger than the original, but otherwise true to form?
What watch is this?
The Captain Willard.
The Captain Willard.
Yeah, we're talking about Apocalypse Now. We're talking about the Martin Sheen character.
Yeah, this is kind of the turtle. They call it the turtle.
Yeah, well, yes, but okay. In Apocalypse Now, the Martin Sheen character was Captain Willard, right? Do I have that right, guys?
Okay, so this is Willard. I think you're correct. I think this case might be a little bigger now compared to the old.
Yeah, I think they enlarged it a little for modern times.
But boy, I love it to death.
Yeah, I think it's really cool, and it's great on that Tropic strap, which is very period correct.
Yes, this is one of the few watches, knowing, with its movie connections and stuff, that I would like say, okay, the rubber strap is okay, because I have to have a bracelet.
Yeah, me too.
Any watch I get, because the rubber and leather are always an option that can be cheaply switched over to
later.
But,
yeah,
if you decide, I really want a bracelet for this, well, plan on spending half as much as you spend on the watch just to get your hand on a bracelet.
I agree. It's cheaper to buy it in the first place. Also feels better to me generally, but this looks period correct and cool. Little Dave says they're about $1,000.
Does. It sure does.
Little Dave says about $1,000. So
man, see, Seiko makes some nice stuff. Their monster line is, classic. The Samurai I have,
there he is.
I don't think it's setting any trends.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, there you
go.
go.
That's Martin Sheen. That's Charlie's dad, Martin. Martin Sheen, not Charlie. It's the father, not the son. But anyway,
Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost, they're all the same, aren't they?
Right. Mikey, I think I have like
Guess how much
4
they
or
want
5
for it.
Seikos.
This limited edition, you know how much they want for it?
How much, Ski? 4?
4,300.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah,
it's too much, but it is very cool.
It is.
It was limited to 2,500 pieces.
Yeah, which for Seiko, actually, that's not that. Seiko is so widely disseminated that's not a big number for that brand.
They're used to making millions of each model.
I'm a little bit disappointed that
I think there's a couple versions of this though.
I love it. I like it, but I want to get into it cheaply. You know what I'm
I
saying?
think you can. I think you can. Little Dave is saying that he was looking at a different reissue version for $950. So I think this has been reissued a couple times.
Thomas Burnett, £5. The leftover stock of the 6429 Rolex Commando were sold to Abercrombie and Fitch in 1972, who sold them for $108. Some didn't have Commando written on them. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
That's cheap price. That was like a week's wages. Whereas in 1970, a Submariner was like about $500.
I mean, in 1975, 6, you could get a pretty nice watch for like $75. I distinctly remember.
Well, that's how Doxa started out, as like a $25 super bargain cheap dive watch.
You wanted a Rolex all your life, Mark, didn't you?
I did. For me, it was sort of like a lifetime achievement at like the age of 32. I thought I was hot shit. you
were hot shit, Mark.
Well, I was making money at the time, and I was feeling invincible. I was feeling like Wolf of Wall Street, hot shot in business. And that was the watch to have, the two-tone date or date just. That's what people wanted. We walked right past the Daytonas.
You were a nice guy, Mark. You were a very nice guy.
We pushed the Submariners out of the way, and we wanted those two-tone date justs. Boy, did we make a mistake. We really should not have pushed the Daytonas out of the way. We should have bought them. And the cases were full. They were just bursting with whatever you wanted. But, and it was a lot of money. I want to say I spent like $2,700 or something like that on that watch, 2000, somewhere around there. And oh boy, it puckered me. It was a lot of money, but I still have it all these years later, and it's been serviced only once. Isn't that amazing?
Amazing stuff, Mark. You
I love Seiko.
You can afford, Mark.
Only once. It was serviced and restored, really, because by that point it needed a lot of work, by the infamous, the one, the only Kenny Nguyen, because you want somebody who knows what they're doing. You wouldn't just let anybody work on a Porsche, would you? It's not about the money; it's the passion. Jewelers on time.
Porsche. I got to tell you, man, I love. Would you buy another Porsche, Marky? Tell me.
I think about it all the time. I think about a Cayenne all the time, but the prices are not like what I paid. If I get an old one, if I would go get a 18, 19, I could get the price I would want. But no, I really have thought about it. But the problem is, you know what? It's one thing to get into a Porsche. It's another thing to stay in the Porsche. Now, Mikey,
the big problem is, Mark, about getting the Porsche is
the maintenance.
You got to become a prick once you get it. You got to no longer use indicators. You got to use your middle finger. You got to have the swagger. Can you be bothered? You're just a nice guy. You paid your home off.
Mikey,
by the way, Mikey, I got a HELOC.
Did you, Mikey? You can confirm this. There really is a club, isn't there, Mikey? I mean, you see another. There's a nod. There's the Porsche nod, right, Mike?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, and it is a true thing, because I noticed this when I got it. I started getting the knowing respectos nod, from like dudes on the street that have one.
Yeah.
So it is a tight-knit group. But it's one thing to get into a Porsche. It's another thing to stay in. Now, Mike, you can work on your own. I can't, right? So every oil change, every oil filter, I burn through tires, like not every 30, 40, 50,000 miles like I'm accustomed to, but every like 10, 12,000 miles.
Wow.
It's just so much more maintenance. You're supposed expensive
to drive it. You're not supposed to drive it like that. You got to drive it like a hearse. Didn't they tell you this?
No, I asked him, why am I burning through tires so fast? He laughed. He goes, because you're driving it like a Porsche. I couldn't help it.
Yeah. Nice. Good answer.
They do give you like a free massage with happy ending at the dealer when you're there, but no wonder they do, because the pricing is awful. You know.
Marky, tell me this. You had a fantastic, you've loved cars.
No, I'm not a big car guy, but I had a Cayenne and then I had a Macan. But I don't claim to be a car guy, really. I'm not.
Would
I
you
just like a
ever-
nice car, Arch. I just like a nice one.
Yeah. No, I understand what you're saying there. You got to be careful with these cars.
Got to baby them a little. They got plastic parts.
Plastic parts. Holy fuck.
Like, you know, how about these quarter panels and bumpers and everything that are plastic? And if you hit a deer and crack one, it doesn't look like much, but it's like thousands and thousands of dollars.
Because that's what the plastic. I don't understand. The plastic cut the price down, but why don't they on sell the parts cheap? Why do they gouge? They gouge you. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean.
Why do they gouge, Mark? Tell me.
I hit a deer, which I barely felt in my Lincoln. It looked like a little crack in the front plastic grill, and one of the parking sensors was kind of like bumped out of position. The initial estimate was
tell it to Bambi, Mark. Tell that story to Bambi and see what she says.
No, it was kind of sad. And then that was like $4,000, on the original estimate. But when they got it apart, they found damage underneath, and it totaled out to be $8,000 to hit one deer. Crazy.
And how did the deer? What did the deer say?
Well, it bounded off into the woods. Bounced off into the woods. I felt terrible about it because I'm sure that thing had an agonizing death, an hour later. Hopefully it was quick, but I did not feel too good about it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm an animal lover, so I wasn't going to go out there and dispatch it with my, Captain Willard hunting knife, but I did feel bad.
Captain Willard hunting knife.
Yeah, no, I don't like killing stuff. I depend upon the kindness of others to do it for me. Listen, we got super chats that we should look at.
Super chats coming through. Keep them going on now. We got Patel Philippe, $5. Which is higher, AC2's income in his first year on the job, or the Vacheron 6405 MSRP new? So this was the Vacheron. I own this one. This was my Vacheron. And I got to tell you, Marky, you don't know something truthful about this watch. I loved it. It was great. It was a Vacheron 6405. I got it cheap. But you know what? This is actually my watch here. It's too small.
I recognize those little chubby little fingers. Look at that. That's your picture.
Small. It's too small. It was
32.
It was a nice watch.
What's the size?
33 mils.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It looks just like a Calatrava.
Yeah, it's Vacheron's. Yeah, it was. And I got to be honest with you, Mark.
And Mike.
The what?
Mark and Mike.
Okay. Vacheron. I got to tell you, I had these two. Yeah, the paddock. Look, I love the watches. I love them.
I don't like these inky dinky ones though. You have a fondness for tiny little
dinky.
Yeah.
Did you ever have toys as a kid, Marky?
Well, didn't we all?
Dinky toys. What brand of toys did you
what
have?
Do you mean dinky toys? You know what? We should all reveal our favorite toys when we were kids. I remember I had this thing called creepy crawlies, and you poured goop into these molds and heated it up to like 200 degrees, which you could never do now. And then you could make like rubber spiders and different things, whatever you had the mold for. But it was like basically like giving a little kid a hot iron or a soldering iron.
Yeah, I mean, you could never sell that shit now. Hot plastic. I mean, can you imagine the accidents people could have with that shit now?
Mikey, do you remember that thing? What was it called?
I don't remember what it was called, but I most definitely remember it.
So there was that. I mean, erector sets, chemistry sets. Of course, when we had chemistry sets, Mike, did you do this? We were always trying to build a bomb.
I never tried to build a bomb, but
Marky.
I had a small problem with fire when I was a youngin', and I was always trying to explode things or set them on fire, and the chemistry set was good for that. Oh, and also, okay, tell me, am I the only one? Mikey, did you ever have, like, in the chemistry set, Did you get the cheap little? I can't believe I just remembered this. Did you get the cheap little microscope so that you could look at like frogs and different things under the microscope?
Yeah.
So you had a microscope when you were like in middle school age?
Well, it's given as a gift,
Yeah,
educational gift. And,
right. So
but
did you tell me, and in the comments, I'm going to want to know, guys, am I the only one who checked his motility? I did a sperm check.
No, I never did that. No.
And you could see it.
Never even dawned on me to do that.
Marky, this is it. Marky. This is
Mark.
yes, Marky.
Okay, moving right along. Must have been the only
Moving
one.
right along here. I'd say this is like a year's salary. Yeah, that's about right. And the problem is they're not really that valuable. I mean, they're a beautiful Vacheron. Don't get me wrong; it's a beautiful watch, but the times have changed. You know what I mean? They've changed. They've changed.
I'll be right back. I've lost something. I'll be right back.
No, that's okay. Take your time, Mikey. We got another super chat here. Patrick B. $5. Cheers to Tan and Thomas for bringing up very cool watch history. Great stuff, guys. And we got Thomas Burnett again, £5. Pull up the 1955 Explorer 6610. This is the original, the Rolex 6610. Pull it up. The original. Look at this. Holy fuck. Where was that fucker? Here we go. The original Explorer. Holy fuck. Look at that.
I love it.
Holy fuck. Yeah, the successor to the original 6150 that Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay took up Everest in 1953. Better than a 1016. Absolutely. Look at this. Isn't that beautiful LV box there? Do you have any desire, Mikey, to buy an LV box?
No. No, with that same money, I could put it in, to what I'm saving for to get next, or put it into my existing toy, and no.
Good point there, Mikey. Very good point. What a wonderful. I love this Rolex. Look at this beautiful. Oh fuck! Look at the. It's just, vintage is like vintage car. I love vintage. I'm scared sometimes of owning some of the stuff, but
I only like the new stuff. The new stuff is robust. It's thick. It's beefy. Good clasps.
Do you think that this bracelet in this picture is original? Because doesn't Rolex usually have an end link that spans across the lugs? I've never seen a Rolex.
Really old, Mikey. I think it's original. This is a Jubilee. It's an old Jubilee.
Okay.
If you look at all the pictures, Mikey, they're all kind of similar on this one.
Okay.
No, I think
I just haven't seen many watches.
Marky, I'd like to see you get an LV box. Can you get a box?
No, I cannot. I am hooked on $12.99 Amazon boxes with glass tops that often break if you stack them too much.
Okay. That's a no.
Put the money in the watches, not in the boxes.
Yep. 100%.
Fancy luggage is dumb. It's just going to get like scuffed up, marked, broken up. I buy my suitcases at Walmart or Amazon. My last one was from Sam's Club, though.
Sam's Club. Sam's Club is like Costco, isn't it?
Yeah, and it went all over. Went to Thailand. I don't even know how many times. It went to South Korea. It went all over the world, that suitcase, and it lasted like 12 years at least before it started to crack a little around the wheel. I always like to buy luggage of an obnoxious color that nobody else would buy because you can always see it coming off the belt. But,
yeah, good idea. Gray is not a...
No, so like my last one was cobalt blue, but my new one is like just very typical carbon fiber color. So I need to put I'm going to put like a giant red X in duct tape on both sides of it. Something really hideous.
I've traveled with my mother, and she just by default, she buys loofahs. You know those loofah things you soap up, and she straps a loofah to the handle, and it's like you can't miss the bag with the loofah hanging off the handle, and it's a really easy identification thing.
Now the comments are now saying that you used to strap Coda like a loofah.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's not true, guys. Stop it. Okay, well, that's a good idea. And loofahs come in multiple colors.
Yes, they do.
All right. Well, Archibald, have you addressed the 1953 Mount Everest journey? Because there's more.
Yeah, I got to say to you, we got another super chat here. Yankee Doodle, $2. Do you have most of your retirement dollars in watches? That's actually a good question.
I have too many.
No, I reckon. I don't think you want to have more than 10% of your money in it. What do you think, Mark?
Yeah, I agree, and I think even 10% of your money is too much.
Ridiculous.
It is ridiculous, and but I'm probably close.
I got to tell you, what's happened. The worst thing about the crash, Marky, is that you can't easily get out of watches now. You know what I mean?
Painful.
Can you get out or not? What do you think?
You cannot.
I bought many watches myself, and I would love to get out of some pieces. I really would love to get out, but
Me too.
Unfortunately,
are you going to get fisted on that JLC? How fisted are you going to get?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a bit of a worry.
Look, I'll tell you something, Marky. Just let me tell you this. Really, I honestly, sometimes I really think I might sell my world time. It's a bit like your gold sub, right? Yes, it's a beautiful watch. I love it. It is great. It's a lot of money.
Yeah, you're tying up a bunch of fundage. That's the thing.
And you think to yourself, what the fuck am I going to really do? When am I going to wear that? Because it's you don't want to wear it too much because you damage it, or you know what I mean? It's
well, at least the sub, even though it's gold, it's still robust. But I think the world time is probably far more delicate.
Yeah. So I kind of think to myself, you know what? Maybe I'll flick the fucking thing as well as the JL. I'm trying to look at the moment.
Where would you sell it, though? I mean, that's not a watch to throw up on eBay.
What's that? The JLC?
No, the world time, the Patek.
Oh, I don't know.
Could you pay back the HELOC if you sell that? There's a question.
I got to replace one of the vehicles. Okay, let me tell you the story. I've got to replace one of the vehicles, right?
Which one?
I got a Honda with 170,000 kilometers on it. How long is it going to last?
A lot longer.
Yeah, I mean, why are you selling it if it's not broken? And even if it breaks,
it's some fuckwit ran into the back. They dented the back. Now the boot doesn't close. Do I just put it in under insurance? I don't know.
Well,
you know what I mean? Do I put it in under insurance or what?
Insurance? It's just maintenance.
Okay, well, no, you see, they'd consider it a total, and he'd take the insurance payout on the car, and they'd take the car, or he could buy it back for 10%. At least in America, you have that option, as well as getting your payout. But yeah, if it's been a good car to you, Archie, I would say minimally fix the back so that the boot closes correctly, and continue to own and maintain that car, and it'll easily do 200, 300,000 miles. If it's one of those engines that needs a timing chain, just make sure you do that. But other than that, 200, 300,000 it's not abnormal. And I'm talking miles, not kilometers. That's not too much. You see it, half the cars listed on Craigslist, Toyota Corollas with 200,000.
That's right. And that's miles.
Yeah. And they're going strong. They're running as good. They're running as good the day they rolled off the showroom floor. They're still passing smog. They're.
How long do you reckon the Beamer will last? The Beamer is expensive.
I think your Beamer will last as long as the Toyota would, but as you mentioned, it's got some plastic parts, and if you go onto a forum or something or join a club, you'll learn like down the road what those plastic parts might be. If you're on top of shit, you replace them before they do cause an issue. And if you like one step ahead of your car, the BMWs can easily last the same 200,000. You just have to be one step ahead of it maintenance wise, and replace what goes out.
Jimmy said they last forever. I've seen Toyota Camrys with 509,000. That's not kilometers. That's miles.
Yeah.
Well, the consensus is you keep it because there's nothing wrong with it. It's just older.
Exactly.
But it's paid for, right? Isn't it paid for?
Yes.
Well, then keep it.
Absolutely.
What do you reckon?
Keep it. Own it. Use it. It's just a tool car to you, right? You got your Beamer for your ownership enjoyment factor, and then the other car is just a tool car. It's something that you use when you're not driving your BMW, right?
How much of your money do you have in watches yourself? I think that's a tricky question because in my case, right, I think you want to have, what do you reckon, Mark? 5% max?
Now, okay, so here's what we got to, I need details. Are we talking, when you say your money, are we talking about your superannuation / retirement accounts? Are we talking about total liquid? Do we count investment account value in stocks and or bonds? Or are we simply net worth? Are we talking about net worth, which is like assets minus liability? So the equity in your house, blah, blah. I think net worth. Should we talk about net worth? It's the biggest, most macro number we can come up with, right?
That should be what you'd compare against.
Okay. So 10% of one's net worth in watches is, well, it depends on what your net worth is, but that would be, I think a lot of people do it. I think a lot of collectors do that. People particularly who are collecting Patek. I would not want to do that. For me, 5%. Yeah, 5.
I got to be honest with you, Marky. I love watches, right? But I'm starting to say to myself, how many? The problem I've got is that I don't want to. I want to sell. I want to sell some heavy hitter gold pieces, right? I don't mind keeping, like my Zenith, right? I know everyone hates the Zenith, but that's just how they are. That's not a lot of money. The gold pieces are big money, and I think for me, Marky, I'd like to get rid of I'd like to get rid of. Look, I realize money's not free now. Money is quite expensive.
Ooh, we just had a rate cut here. The Fed just cut.
I know.
So that hopefully, and there's rumors that they're going to give it that same cut again, which would be a lot. So it's going to start hopefully driving interest rates down, like, immediately on things like mortgages and car loans. But
you don't have your car loans are fixed. Most people have fixed rate car loans.
In the United States, we have, generally speaking, in the U.S., we have fixed rate on loans for things like houses and cars. Yeah, we do.
You can refinance at any stage, can't you?
And you can refinance, right? So all the people who bought like houses here and are now on a 7% rate, they may be able to refi at, I don't know, 6.25%, whatever is happening now. So yes, people do that constantly here. I've done it. I think most people have bought a house anytime in the last 20 or 30 years has refied at least once, if not more.
It was down to 2% money, but you don't owe anything now, do you? You've had enough.
I am consumer debt free, although I do use my credit card. I just pay it off every month, but I use it for the miles.
Do you have a home equity line of credit? You could.
No, no, I do not. I mean, I could get one easily, but like, why? I don't need it.
In case you need the money to spend.
That's what Archibald, that's what the emergency fund is for. An emergency fund is, 3 to 6 months worth of operating, capital and liquid.
I got a HELOC as my emergency fund.
Yeah, I don't like that for you. I told you. I don't like it. Jimmy's asking if, is it true in America you can deduct mortgage interest off of your taxes? And the answer is yes. There's a couple little parameters, but for 90% and 95% of people, the answer is yes, you can. But here's the fucked up thing. You used to be able, I'm old, so I remember when you used to be able to deduct all interest that you paid on your credit cards, interest that you paid on your car loan, all interest was deductible. And they killed all that, and now it's just principal residence mortgage. That is correct.
Oh, is that right? We can't do that here.
For us, it's a write-off. It is a write-off.
And investment loans, can you also write that off too?
What do you mean? What? No. Interest on an investment? What does that even mean?
Yes.
What do you mean, yes? I asked you for clarification.
Can you claim that as a deduction?
Claim what as a deduction? Losses on a loan? Like if I lose money on a loan, depending on how that loan was structured, I might be able to claim that as a loss. Yeah, I could.
Yeah.
But not the interest that I earn. That's going to be, I think, regular income. I mean, I'm not a CPA, guys, but this is what I think.
I believe you're correct.
Thank you, Mikey.
Wow, that's amazing stuff.
Jimmy is saying in Canada they cannot do that stuff, which is to say taxes are not a write-off. Yeah, well, you have that health system to pay for, right, Jimmy?
Uh-huh.
Now, mind you, we have our own health system issues. So I am not one to knock nationalized health. We have our own cobbled together system, but I am kind of glad. I kind of like ours better than yours. Let's just put it that way.
Wow. That's interesting stuff, Mikey.
I agree,
Mark,
Mike.
I think you meant to say Marky.
I think you meant Mike. That was you. All you.
In my best Mark voice impression.
Yeah, well, Jimmy says everyone thinks our healthcare is free. It is not free. You pay through it with a pretty high taxation rate and cost of living. Canada is an expensive place to live. It is not so easy to make it in Canada, which is why, Canada has a pretty liberal.
They have good welfare, but don't they?
Well, they do. So look, Canada takes in a lot of immigrants. On the one hand, on the other hand, a lot of them find it hard to make it there. So there's a lot of them leave because it's a very high cost of living country. But let's get on to super chats, which we have.
Yeah.
Here, I'll put one up for you. On the board, Archie. Put up Philippe. Archie.
We got our first scammers there.
We do?
Where's
What happened?
Scammers.
see
Here
it.
we go. Patel Philippe, $2. Thoughts on the Omega DeVille Tourbillon? Fuck, I gotta tell you something. Omega DeVille, that's a toxic. That's DeVille. What is DeVille? That's a Cadillac sedan.
Yeah, but the Tourbillon version. It's going to be stupid expensive, isn't it? Isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, look, I like it. I like it, but fuck. $373,000.
Oh, that's
Who
who's
is Aussie? It's about 300 US.
no, that's
Bike
stupid. I mean,
dead.
it's cool, but no one's buying that. Like, who is buying that? I like the position of the Tourbillon. I like its location. I think that's interesting. Where's the hands? Oh, they're look at those little tiny hands. The hands are minimized to put the focus on the Tourbillon, but like, God, it's really a little hard to tell the time. Dumb. It's just dumb.
Agreed.
That's for people who are really angry at their money and want to get rid of it. They want to punish their money. That's what they bought. It's dumb. Archibald, are you with us?
I gotta be totally honest with you,
I
man.
agree.
I think Archie's got his head in Gumtree right now. What's happening on Gumtree? If you're going to be in Gumtree, tell us what's happening at least.
Yeah, they want to buy it from me somewhere from Muswell Brook. He's asking me, can I ship? That's in New South Wales. That's not too bad. Not too bad.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I'll take it. I'll take it. I want it. I want it. I want it. Okay.
Great. Tell him to fly in.
Please confirm how you want to pay for the item.
He'd like to pay with goats, cows, and chickens. Or Bitcoin.
Yeah, I love this way here. This guy's been on here since he's been on here for a while.
Maybe it's real. Maybe what made you say it was a scam?
Yeah.
Experience.
I just you get a bad feeling. It's a feeling, like with a dog. That dog's gonna. Do you ever get a sixth sense? You can tell this dog's a real pain in the ass.
Yeah, I have one here right now who's been evaluating whether or not he's going to bite me, and he's just not sure yet. But he is considering all options. And he tells me that every day, I believe him when he tells me that. And I'm like, and I tell him back, I wouldn't.
Being bitten?
No, not in the case of this dog, because I don't think he's going to do a very good job of it. I think I'll see it coming in time to avert disaster. But on some of them, on some dogs, there are some scary dogs out there, and I'm old and fat and not fast anymore. So I'm a delicate flower. So I'm very careful with that kind of dog now. I don't take the worst of the worst anymore. I mean, I take them, but not in my boarding kennel, right? I see them for lessons where the owner is present to handle the dog under my direction. So I prefer not to take dogs who have killed other dogs. So or dogs in families where I feel that there is a minor child in danger, being endangered by the owner of the dog because they refuse to, they prioritize the dog's well-being over the child. And I see that from time to time.
How can they prioritize the child?
Some people own very violent, very vicious and dangerous dogs. They have minor children and they won't lock the dogs up, or they won't get rid of the dog, or they won't properly train the dog. And therefore the child can be in pretty grave danger, and they just don't see it because they think the dog is also their child. And I don't take those cases because I'll deal with crazy on one end of the leash, but not on both ends.
Have you explained this to people?
Yeah. Oh, yes, I have. Yes, indeed, I have. Some of them see the light and others are offended, but I don't really care because guess what?
Like, what do you mean by offended?
I mean, they think they're very angry that you're, just because your child is bad doesn't mean you get rid of or kill your child. And sometimes I have to explain to them, yes, I know that, but you did not give birth to that dog. It's not your child. That's your dog. Your child's upstairs pissing in a coffee can because he's afraid to leave his room in the middle of the night to pee because you won't lock up the dog. And not only that, but his right arm is bandaged from fingertip up through shoulder due to bites. So you tell me who's being an abusive parent here. Oh,
Are you seeing the kids with bites that bad?
I've just seen some terrible things. Let's just say some parents really ought not to have children or dogs. But other than that, I'll take bad dogs, but I'm careful.
And these are wealthy people, or what are they like normally?
It ranges. You never know. You never know. Speaking of which, I'm being flown into Florida next month to spend a week training a couple little ankle biters for a lovely and well-to-do couple who prefer the dog to be trained in their home rather than anywhere else. So
you staying with them, or you're in a motel?
No, I don't stay with anybody. I prefer to make my own accommodations and they pay for it. But in this case, though, they're only 45 minutes from where my father and stepmother live in Florida, so I'll be staying with them, it'll be nice to see them.
Oh, that works out very nicely.
Yeah, exactly.
So do you still charge them a hotel rate, I hope?
Yes, believe me, I will be overly well compensated.
So fair enough. So oh man, that's just
but
these are animals, aren't they? Dogs are animals still. You know what I mean?
Listen, I'm a dog lover. Don't get me wrong, and we're talking about a tiny, tiny, tiny percentage of dogs that are truly, truly, dangerous. It's a very, very small percentage. But if you're in business long enough, you're going to find them, or they'll find me.
There is crazy. I like the way you say that. There is crazy.
I will deal with crazy owners or crazy dogs, but I will not deal with a crazy owner who happens to own a crazy dog. And let me tell you why I won't, Mikey, because I've done it. I've tried it, and it just never goes well. I'm always sorry I took the money.
Yeah,
so you're telling me like the kids won't go to the toilet at night because they're scared of being attacked by the dog.
Yeah, because they know they'll be attacked by the dog because they have been. I mean,
the dog lurks in wait for them to fucking pounce.
In the case that I'm talking about right now, there were 3 of them in the family, mom, dad, 16-year-old kid. They were all covered in scars.
What sort of dog?
A very, very large English bulldog. And those are usually very sweet, very nice dogs. But this was about a 75-pounder who was anything but nice. He was not nice. He was dangerous.
And what did you say to them? This dog is a pain in the ass, or what?
No, I just told her he was dangerous and he needed to be living somewhere else or not at all. And I never give that kind of a.
They didn't lock him up at night. Where did he stay at night?
No, yeah, it's loose, which meant that the child had to barricade himself inside his room, and he couldn't leave his room until daylight.
And what did the child say?
The kid took me aside and told me he was terrified of the dog, that his mother would tell me that it was his dog, and that if she got rid of the dog, that the kid, would never forgive her. But then he told me, he goes, that's what she's going to tell you, which is exactly what she told me. He said, but it's a lie. It's her dog. I'm terrified of that dog, and I wish she would get rid of him, but she won't.
He said that this is a boy or a girl?
Boy. And usually boys are pretty,
nice guy? Was he a nice kid?
Oh, no, he was lovely. He was so nice, but he was very, very frightened and also, damaged. I'm sure that, listen, this was a long time ago. So that kid has to be almost 30 now. And I wonder if he even has a relationship with his mother. I wonder how much therapy he needed. I went home from that particular appointment and I had to shower off. I had to literally wash off the disgust. It was.
You told her the dog is dangerous. You need to do something. What did she say to you?
She threw me out of the house.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Well, she threw the money at me and threw me out of the house.
How much did you charge?
Fluffy would never be that way. You're wrong. Go away.
No, actually, she knew I was right. She knew I was right. She didn't deny it. She just didn't like the answer. She called me.
Dog, what could he have done? When he goes to the toilet, could he have taken a stick with him? When the dog bites him, he goes, fuck off!
Well, he found a much better
man. Bring a shotgun.
He found a safer solution, as opposed to beating his mother's dog over the head, which probably would have gotten him in huge trouble. He just stayed in his room and peed in a coffee can if he had to go. It was really awful. But
And what
Look.
about her? The dog bit her as well.
Oh yeah, she was covered in wounds too.
And what
Look.
about her as well?
Oh yeah, she was covered in wounds too. Listen, we have some super chats, and
How
these are
bad
happy.
were the wounds? Can I ask you this? How bad were the wounds?
Well, he had put stitches in everyone in the house. So.
And what did she say about that? Oh, he's just teething. Oh, he's just playing. What did she say?
I'm 100% sure she was mentally ill.
Were
Hey,
they
look,
wealthy? Were they wealthy?
they were upper middle class. Here we have a lovely super chat.
From Thomas Burnett, £10. Pull up the Tudor 7021 roulette. Released in 1969. It was the first Tudor sub with a date. The Marine Nationale requested a dial and hands that were more legible underwater, so haters have them to blame.
Wow.
Let's bring this baby up, and we will talk about more dog drama.
No, we'll do that. We're going to do that on the next episode because, unfortunately, I have to leave you at this moment.
Oh, not because
Mark.
of that, Mark Yahoo.
No, not at all. But we'll pick it back up tomorrow.
I really enjoy learning about lunatic owners who fucking won't face the truth. You know what I'm saying?
There are a few of those out there. Mark,
say goodbye to
this is
Kane.
beautiful.
Sit-
Look
sit
at
and
this.
skip-
Look at
skip
this. The
for me.
roulette dial Tudors. Look at this. These are beautiful.
Oh, Tudor subs. I have an absolute.
And it has the black red alternating date roulette wheel.
Yeah, I'd
Holy
rather have an
shit.
old. If we talk vintage, I'd rather have a vintage Tudor sub than I would a vintage Rolex sub. Honestly.
We got Patel. Oh, $5. Mark sent you Archie's Gumtree ad so you can send to Maddie Stevens. That's very kind. Thank you so much. Yeah, very, very kind. Thank you so much. Thank you. Very, very good punters around the world there. Thank you so much for the cool punters around. Jesus, some dogs can be vicious. They can be nasty fikers. They can be vicious.
Archie, my last dog, we all know the name of, whose name I won't mention.
Yeah, actually, Mark did say he spoke to the trainer. The trainer said the
Yeah.
dog was fucking out of his mind.
Yeah, she was an absolute liability. She was
Yes.
she's a guaranteed, if she got out, guaranteed dog fight with the first dog she came into contact with, and or if somebody was like trying to catch her, she was super aggressive. She was either going to be a dog bite, a dog fight, or a beef between neighbors, which is something I totally, 100% don't want.
We've got Jay Anthony joining us. Hello, Jay Anthony.
We're looking at Tudors today, I see. Snowflakes.
Yes, very
love it,
interesting.
huh?
We just got a super chat from Patel Philippe. $5. AC3. How come on Gumtree you mark the IKEA glass door cabinet Fabrico, not the light one, as sold, but I see it right behind you. Now, the reason is I actually had two. I had a yellow one, a light yellow, and a blue one. And because they were damaged in the burglary, well, they were touched by the burglars, I sold both of them. And I bought one blue one. That's what I did. I actually sold both of them because I just wanted a fresh, clean one. They poured paint on it, and I cleaned it up. It cleaned up okay, but I just wanted to replace it. And yeah, that's what I did there. Speaking of which, we've also got the Rancher on the stream. We have the Rancher in the house. Hello, Mr. Rancher. How are you?
Hi, Jay Anthony. How are you doing?
Hey, good to meet you.
Likewise.
Hey, hi, Rancher.
Oh, hey, Mike.
Yeah. Oh, hey.
I've heard Rancher throw it a lot, but I don't have the background.
Something. Oh, yeah. Hi, Patel.
Hey, we've got a super chat. So the reason is, Patel, I sold both of them because I just wanted to get a new one. I got a new. Now, you might say that's crazy. Why would you do that? I just did that. I did that because I wanted one the burglars did not touch. That's the reason. That's the reason.
Now you
We
see,
got
Arts, instead of
Yankee
us saying,
Doodle, $5 in the Middle East. The princes, well, not just princes, wealthy people. They keep wild animals like tigers and lions as pets. Would
Oh,
you
my.
train those too? And I think they also keep those birds of prey. They train them. Look, I don't particularly like that. I think it's best to leave them wild. I think sometimes people, I don't know why it's such a cool thing over there to do it, but I'd rather see the animals wild. That's just my view. That's my
well, it's
view.
because falcons are the natural enemies of minotaurs. I understand why you feel that way.
Exactly. Rancher, how are you going? How's your collection going? Tell me this. What's happening?
Still the same. I'm still trying to downsize, not trying to pick any up, but
Mercedes Benz?
still working on it. He's going to have this mechanic work on the top. So yes, please.
Okay. But when are you going to do the deal, sign the paperwork?
Well, when are you going to read this super chat by Patel Philippe?
Here we go. Patel Philippe, $5. GM Anthony, thoughts on the 1971 Corvette ZR1 Coupe? Big photos, Arch, because we all know everything's bigger in Texas.
I like C3s. I know this is a very special C3, but I'm more of a C1 or C2 or C6, C7 guy. But yeah, it's a beautiful car. You should pull it up and pull up the engine. That's really important about this one.
I'm a C2 guy. Yeah, that's the model that had the 427 in it, right? Probably.
This is this is a very special car. Let's see if you can find a photo of it.
Aluminum heads, 427.
The 1971 Corvette. And it's the ZR1 Coupe. That's what we want. Let's have a look. So this is the Coca-Cola bottle. I believe Jeremy Holmes had one of these from the adult entertainment industry.
Jeremy who?
Jeremy Holmes.
Jeremy
Okay, so that's actually a Roadster. This is
you mean Ron Jeremy, or are you talking about Ron Holmes? Wait.
I think Ron Holmes.
Okay.
Go ahead.
These came out in the 70s. Didn't Biden have one of these similar? Didn't he have something like this?
He still has one. It was a wedding gift.
Yes. Yes.
From his father who owned a GM dealership, a Chevy dealership. And he had a C2 though. Yeah, there it is. It's a green one. Right, you got it. He is the end of the C2s.
C2 is that's my favorite.
C2.
That's my favorite generation. The Stingray.
It's not a bad car, really, is it? What do you think?
I will tell you, and I can't believe I'm saying this. The C3 Corvette is actually one of the worst cars I've ever driven.
Yeah, it's a horrible car. It's
not a good car.
car.
Yeah, I've driven like a 75, which is post. They basically cut the balls off of these cars with emissions and like they just made them fuel economy cars. They never should have been, but no power steering. It feels like a fiberglass boat. It is numb. It's just there's nothing about it that's fun to drive. They're beautiful, but they drive like a boat.
C3?
This is a C2. I'm talking about this. I've not driven one of these.
What are you talking about? Which one's the boring one?
I've not driven the ZR1 that Tan's talking about, but I've driven a 75 yellow convertible with an automatic, and it was a terrible car. And it was fully restored, but it had totally numb light steering. It drove like a boat. It was like a big fat car that rolled around. That was like fiberglass. I did not like it at all.
They also had the 6-cylinder ones at that time too, didn't they?
You're thinking first gen C1. They had the Blue Fame straight 6.
No, I thought they had the 6-cylinder ones in the C3s. No,
I don't know about that. You may know something I don't. I don't know about those. I remember the Blue Flame and the early C1s.
No, I know that the original one. That yes, you're right there. That they're beautiful. The C1 is absolutely gorgeous. But that's a
I like the
50s car.
Yeah, they made up 61, 62, 62. Sorry, you were going to say something.
That's right. I was going to say Archie didn't like the C3s. As a matter of fact, he's still C3PO'd.
What I mean is, it's a 50s technology, isn't it? Really, the C1 is 50s technology, no? Or you say 60s?
Well, the C1 is actually like late 40s technology because it came out as a 53 and it was a concept car they ended up building. And it was, I think it was through a catalog only, if I remember briefly. It was never meant to be a full production car.
I had a 78 Trans Am with was it a 4-year-old?
Yeah, the 6.6.
Yep.
Oh, I love those. 4-speed?
Nope. Turbo 350.
Screaming chicken on the roof?
Yep. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Black and gold?
Gold.
Oh, you have good taste.
Nice.
Smoking the Bandit.
Smoking the Bandit car. Yeah, totally.
GM Anthony and Mikey, what do you think of the Corvette, Chevrolet Corvette Rodan? Polaroids, Arch, let's fucking go.
I don't know what that is. Ron. I get to show me pictures. I don't know that by that name. What's the
Corvette
Rondine?
Rondine.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, me either.
Oh, by the way, just quick side note: is anyone thinking about getting one of the new iPhones tomorrow?
No.
Oh, this is the Pininfarina body concept car.
Oh, okay.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Look at that. Isn't that? What do you think?
I personally like the C2 better. I'm glad they went with the C2 design than this design. Although Pininfarina, has designed some of the most epic cars in the world for Ferrari and other brands.
What's this car in the
he's a
background
legend.
behind that one there? What's this? What's that?
It looks like it's based on a Chrysler 300. Looking at the wheels, I don't know. That looks like these cars are just rebodied. This kind of looks like a Delahaye, but I don't think it's a Delahaye. It looks like it's a 300 chassis. They did something to it. It's hard to tell. Pininfarina, some Pininfarina thing.
We got Patel, Philippe, $5. Jay, Ant, Clivers, and Mike. Thoughts on the 1967 Chevrolet Corvette L88? Yes, Arch. Get to work!
That's best of the generation. I'll give you that. That's a great 10. I like this choice better. To me, the C3 was nearly perfect. The C3 or the C2 was always pretty good. The C3 just got worse with age. When they killed it off in like 81, it was a joke.
No,
this is the
best of the C3s. Yeah, the L88's an engine moniker. You should. It was pretty powerful. It was over 400 horsepower, I think, if I remember.
Yeah, this is the 427 or 454, and
so it's a C2. It's a C2.
Well, there's more. L88 is an engine moniker, so there's more than one. I guess he's talking about the C2, but there was a L88 C3, if I remember as well.
I love the C2 over the C3 all day long.
What handled better?
Corvette's not really meant for handling.
Honestly, I would bet you that the C2, in fact, at the autocross course, you see a lot of C2s and you never see a C3. I'll say that for fact.
I mean, what I seem to recall, and I could be totally wrong and call me out. You know the Sarah Bear that I do is it's basically the same chassis underneath both of them.
The C2, C3. Yeah, I don't know that. I don't know that for super sure. Did they? I know when they went to C2, they went to the independent rear suspension, which was critical from the the straight rear end that the C1 had, and so yeah, they may very well have carried over the
Jay
underpinnings.
Anthony, what the fuck did they do wrong when they reissued the Thunderbird?
Which time? They've done it multiple times. The Firebird.
The last one in the early 2000s. What the fuck did they go wrong there? It was too expensive.
You know, it's funny. You're picking actually the most disappointing cars I've ever driven, just randomly. Yeah. So the C3 Corvette I was excited to drive. It was terrible. That Thunderbird came out in 2002, I want to say. I actually think they look pretty nice.
Expensive, weren't they? They were expensive.
Well, in the US, they're about 40K, I think, but they were based on, you probably already know this, the Lincoln LS platform, which was the Jaguar S-type
Oh.
platform.
Yeah, the S type.
And
Yeah.
yeah, I actually think they look pretty nice for an old person's car, but they have no feel to them. They're numb as hell. They're just light steering. They don't feel special to drive at all.
Will they ever be collectible?
They actually make quite a few of them, and I don't know about where you're at. Here, I see them occasionally. I actually prefer the Chevy SSR from that era as a more bizarre car that was made. But I don't think so. I mean, the problem is it has the Lincoln LS/Jaguar V8 in it too, which has problems.
Yes. It had it's got that fucking engine, has it?
By the way, I have it on good authority that today is National Talk Like a Pirate Day.
Arr!
We've got another super chat here. Patel Philippe, $5. Copper metallic C4, J. Anthony. Would I be the talk of the town at a honky tonk bar if I pulled up in one of those? Let's bring it up, Arch.
You pull up to a honky tonk bar in a pickup. What the hell?
So yeah, I agree with you, and I like the C4. So I want to say the C2 and C3 are basically the same car, but I know for a fact the C4 is a totally different design, and the C5 is a totally different design. So the C4 is a unique platform. The C5 and C6 are a unique platform. The C7 is a unique platform, and the C8 is a unique platform. The C4, the C4 ZR1 is legitimately one of my favorite cars. Hugely underrated, and I love copper metallic.
I love these cars. What's wrong with these?
Yeah,
The C4.
That's a C4. A lot of people put those wheels on Volkswagens because they fit for some reason. They're called like throwing star wheels. And then they made a special blue color of this on the ZR1 that I adore, and I can't think of what it's called. It's like a purpley blue. What was Kesar blue? I think it is.
I always had a problem with car companies that made directional wheels like this. And there's on the other side, like in this picture, it looks like the spokes are trailing.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go to the other side of the car, and there's the spokes are in the scooping direction, meaning they only made one wheel. There's not right side wheels and left side wheels. And I mean, Porsche does it with their Hurricane wheel. I find it just. I mean,
these are directional. These are directional. They're all directional. But to your point, you can't rotate these at all because they're staggered too.
Do they actually all 4 point in the right direction?
They all point in the right direction. The problem is they can never be rotated because at least on my C5 they're staggered. The front wheels are smaller than the rear wheels.
Sure.
So you can never rotate your tires.
Yeah, impracticality is always gone with the Corvette. Well, I'm glad to hear that this car doesn't have that. You know what I'm talking about, where you see the wheels. They only made one wheel, and they put them on both sides of the car. So one side's, each side looks like it's spinning in the opposite direction, basically.
Actually, you brought up an interesting topic. Thinking about that, I do. Ugliest wheel I've ever seen on a car that was a nice car, E34 M5. The factory wheels, those plasticky, stupid they weren't plastic, but those hubcaps they put on them, I hate those things. You know what those are? They like literally.
This car here. This was the. Oh, we got Naki jumping on. This was the generation I went and checked one out. The interiors in these C4s are very low rent. Can we say that?
I like these better than the C5, or ironically inside. Yeah, they're not great.
No.
Yeah, digital dash in the water.
How are you?
Jay Anthony, how you going, buddy? You finally caught on. Jay Anthony. Now you get it. You're going by JJ's playbook. You come towards the end of the show.
Dr. Bob's Nightmare, right? $2. Archie, back off the mic when you think John Holmes.
Right. You've caught on, because if you come at the beginning of the show, I've noticed with you, sometimes you want to jump off, but you're too polite, so you stuck here for 3 hours. Do what JJ does, right? Comes towards the end of the show, right? And so, fuck, I'd love to stay longer, but you're ending the show, Arch. Now you get it. JJ's playbook was, fuck, I got to go. The hooker just turned up. Jay Anthony, I love you, but don't overexert yourself. Come towards the end, so you're not stuck here for 3 or 4 hours. I love you. I got to go. Bye.
I appreciate it. I came for my Japanese lesson, but thank you.
You're learning Japanese?
I am, yeah.
Who's teaching you that?
Takashi Sensei from Ibaraki Prefecture, Japan.
Nice.
You pay him for lessons?
I do. There's a website called Italki, and you can meet tutors from all over the world. And he's been tutoring me in Japanese for about the last year.
Guys, I've got a jet. And J. Anthony, can eat you
Pleasure.
up.
Hey, it's been a pleasure having you on, Rancher. Thank you so much, man. Love you.
Hey, matane.
See you, Rancher.
Narc. Good night, John Boy.
We got another super chat here. Another super chat.
Good night, John Boy.
Patel Philippe, $2. Mikey, your thoughts on the Pontiac Fire Chicken?
Oh, love it. That's the Smokey and the Bandit, Trans Am, and pretty much loved up until the later models when they changed to the Knight Rider, generation. But all these older style Trans Ams, Fire Chicken Trans Ams, I love to death. And like somebody else you talked to said they had the 6.6 liter. Didn't they make a 6.6 turbo?
That was a lot. Yeah, like 81, 82, and it was slower than the 6.6.
Yeah.
And they made it worse.
Yeah. Yeah. But I seem to remember that somebody in high school had one, and I just remember seeing the 6.6 turbo sticker on the little hood, separate
cool.
hood. Yeah. No, they were the coolest cars ever, man. You were the coolest kid in the whole school if you owned one of these.
Well, you
I
didn't
love
know
these
that your parents had one, you mean? In high school, you mean, Mikey?
Oh yeah, in high school, high school, if you liked older cars and you had one of these, you were fucking, you definitely didn't have problems getting girlfriends.
Jay Anthony, if you look at
Yes, sir.
TV,
Yep.
as a kid, I used to love American. I used to watch. You always watch sitcoms and that there.
I'm learning this
And
about you. Yeah, you're more American than me.
Funny.
Yeah.
I grew up. I'm a bit older than you. I grew up in the '80s television.
Yep.
And I must say this: watches were never a big thing. Like you watch, like I used to watch Different Strokes. Which
Oh
was,
yeah.
I never really understood what watch did Mr. Drummond wear, but he did have Mr. Drummond. If you look at remember the theme song and the start of the show, he had that factory stretch Cadillac. He had a factory stretch Cadillac.
I've never thought about this.
Which was a really fucking expensive Cadillac. It's a factory stretched. Okay.
Yeah, they make livery service vehicles for funeral homes. They're very rare.
Yes. You also had many of the programs, they just had Cadillacs and cars like that. If you wanted to peg a certain class of character, the car was, that's how you built the persona around it. It wasn't until Heart to Heart that you started to see Mercedes SLs. You started to see one hilarious thing is I remember the Peter Stuyvesant commercial. There was cigarettes, and this was filmed around the time of the LA Olympic Games, and these two couples had a pair of C4s. Now, in hindsight, you'd say, why didn't they hire a fucking minivan for the four of them to go together? But no, they had a pair of C4s.
Mm-hmm.
Which is so cooler than a fucking minivan. You know what I mean?
There's a C4 in a Bond movie too. View to a Kill. They did a lot of ad placement with those.
We got a super chat here. Patel Philippe, $5. Jay Anthony, it amazes me. You said your pop didn't like an import in the driveway, but would be totally okay with you parking a shitty Oldsmobile there.
Okay, so hold on. I take some offense to this. So I don't want to give away too much about my life, but I'll say this. So Oldsmobile, the factory, is where my parents met. I was born in Lansing, Michigan, which is where Oldsmobile is from. My dad rebuilt that factory, which is called Lansing Grand River. They make Cadillacs and Camaros there. Well, they did make Camaros until recently. I like Oldsmobile. I liked it better than Buick, honestly. The Toronado, the original Toronado, I always thought was really cool.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Aurora, I thought
Love
the
that
Aurora they
car.
made before they went out was a nice car. I know I had the North Star V8 that had issues, but I miss Oldsmobile, and they made some really cool cars at one point.
Yeah. I had
Hearst
How did
Old-
Oldsmobile fit in? They were slightly above Chevy, weren't they?
Yeah, they and Buick were like weird stepsisters. I don't really know which one was supposed to be better. I liked Oldsmobile better.
I had a 65 Oldsmobile F85.
Rocket.
I know it wasn't a rocket. It was basically a Cutlass, but a high option Cutlass called the F85, a high option package. And it was more sporty. It's kind of like a GTO or something, but before the GTO. I loved it. I loved it to death. Great motor, great car, great hot rod. It had been converted to 4-speed. It was fun.
Yeah, Archie, pull up a Hearst Olds. Do you know what those are? Would you've seen those in Australia?
No. What is that?
Olds Cutlass 442. Hearst Olds.
Yeah,
Hearst-
they're
Oh,
muscle cars that came from the factory with a Hearst
yeah.
shifter.
The white and gold one, not the 80s one. I know people like those. I like the 70s one, like a 69 or 70.
Yeah, exactly. And they came factory with a first Hearst shifter.
Yes.
And Pontiac did the same thing with their GTO. They had Hearst, and so did Dodge. I had a 64 Dodge Dart GT that had a factory Hearst shifter, boot and H on it and everything. That factory Hearst factory shift package was almost throughout the whole industry wide.
Actually, in the comments, Dr. Bob's Nightmare nailed it. 442, 4-barrel, 4-speed, dual exhaust. Yes.
Oh yeah, totally, man. 442 is the GTO of Buick, right?
Yes, and then what is it? The 454 Big Box Chevelle. They were all kind of, or was that the same platform? I remember the Judge.
The 442 was the monster.
Yeah,
It was
Buick
the
Grand.
one.
What was the Buick? Was it the Grand National in the 70s? No, it wasn't. It was the
Buick.
my brain's. I know it. I can't say it now. Do you know what a Toronado is, Archie? Have you ever seen a Toronado?
It looks like a Cadillac.
Those are beautiful cars. It's an Eldorado.
Big,
Yeah, same
long,
Long
front
send me
end.
some super chats.
Front-wheel drive.
Cutlass
Patel
Supreme.
Philippe, J. Anthony, amazes me. Your
Ah.
pop didn't like an. Okay, so this is some adverts that he sent me. Oh, Patel Philippe, $2. Please analyze the ad I sent you on WhatsApp with J. Anthony. And this is an advert here. This is not your dad's
father's
Oldsmobile. I remember
Oldsmobile.
these. This is not your father's Oldsmobile. Fuck. That was like the Saturn. I think the Saturn was similar to that.
In this year, though, the same car was a Cadillac. Like they used the same platform and same front-wheel drive 4-banger setup and to make the lower model Cadillacs.
There was never a 4-cylinder in a Cadillac in the 90s. I think you're thinking of the Eldorado, and that
They
was
had
the same platform.
Cinnamon.
as
The
the-
Cinnamon was
the Eldorado was
4-cylinder.
the front-wheel drive.
That's from the 80s. Yeah, that shit box is the 80s.
Cinnamon,
It's
you
a
know,
J-
the Cinnamon. That was General Motors' finest hour. Don't you think, or not?
Yeah, maybe it is a Cimarron I'm thinking about.
I'm trying to think of stuff they've done worse. They've definitely done shit worse than that.
Did they not? Did people not say to them, "You're out of your fucking mind," or what did they say?
That's what we say about BMW now. You can put a BMW badge on dog shit and people buy it. That was the way it was back then. You could sell anybody anything with a badge. It was a GM car. Now, if you want to see something really, if you want to see something, that's nice.
How honestly now? Did you spend your youth dreaming about someday owning a Nissan or a Mitsubishi? Well, they do now. They do now. Don't they?
That's your favorite gen. That's a 964. That's a beautiful
Maybe
car.
you can't afford a Lamborghini, but you can afford Lamborghini tires. Look at that.
That's clever. That's a Mira.
A Miura, yes. And
Next to Ford Galaxy.
a few car makers who still believe in rear-wheel drive.
Ferrari 308, never liked those. There's a C3. There's a 911. What is that? It's a Volvo. What's that Volvo? I forget what those were called.
A 240. That was a 240 GLE.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
They
Those are
were
cool.
legendary because they started off as a 166, I think. They started 164, 166. Then they were indestructible. That's an indestructible Volvo.
I actually see those where I live quite frequently. A lot of hippies drive those still.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Again, you won't see modern Volvos like that because too much electronics in them.
Do you remember the S60R? That's the last Volvo I got excited about.
Yes.
And they had the V50, the turbos, the Rs. Those were cool, but they're all long gone.
Ford took over Volvo.
Ford owned Volvo until 2010 or whatever. Was part of their premium auto group. They had Aston Martin, they had Land Rover, Jaguar. Yeah, they sold it all off during the big crash.
Wow. Man, I learned so much from you, Anthony. This is all shit like I have no clue about.
Do they regret selling that off, or
I love
how
this.
do they
It's
feel
great.
about that? Do they regret selling that off, or what do they think?
I don't know, but my guess is no, they wouldn't, because they were losing money on them. But GM, we lost Hummer, we lost Saab, we lost Saturn, we lost Pontiac.
How did they fuck up Saab? Can I ask you that? Why did they fuck up Saab? Why did they do that? Why?
I actually know the answer to that.
Okay.
Because GM was all about the cost of the product, and the Swedes were all about, we're going to do it our way. And so GM would give them like a platform like the Epsilon platform, which is a very common platform GM had.
Mm-hmm.
And
I've heard this story.
This is legit. And then Trollhättan would literally re-engineer the entire car to make it Saab and make it 10 times more expensive. And they were basically selling them at break even. And then nobody bought them. So they had to have the ignition in the center. They had to have the night panel. They had to have all these quirks and features. I love them, but I mean, like, you give me I used to have a Saab 9.3, actually. I had a 2008 9.3.
Yeah.
I always liked the Aero. They were the all-wheel drive. They had Haldex all-wheel drive. You can get a 6-speed manual with a big turbo, the big T. Those were fun cars. I like those cars.
They had the Saab Griffin. That was like their M car, the Griffin.
Yeah, those were cool. They have a cool logo.
But they basically used that Vauxhall Vectra platform, didn't they?
They were all shared because GM had Vauxhall, Opel, and Holden at that time. You're right. They had global. They went to global platforms. They finally learned their lesson. Because before
GM is not a very good corporate citizen. Can I say that to you? They took money from our government. They robbed us blind and fucked off. You know.
I've heard this. They were going to keep the jobs and then they closed the factories.
Why do they have no ethics? Can I ask you that?
That's any corporation. I'm sorry to tell you. This is the world we live in. I remember who's the jackass that ran GE? Jack Welch. He was.
Yes. He wore a paddock. That guy wore a paddock.
I hate that guy. He's he's the best CEO ever. He's quoted as saying, "I will put people on a floating barge and float it to the cheapest labor market to make what I want." I mean, that was his ethics.
Yeah, that's the downfall of America right now. That's the attitude that's just allowing.
Well, that's what they've done. It's all over now, don't you think, or not?
It's just still going on.
I mean, I do. So Dan Gilbert in Detroit, where I was from, is doing a nice job of bringing stuff back to Detroit. They're building new skyscrapers. They Shinola, the brand, which, you know, you can feel whatever you want about. There are people trying to make a difference, but it's nowhere what it was for sure.
Well, I mean, they had a winner in Saturn. I don't know why they canceled that brand off.
The Saturn Sky Redline was a super cool car that Bob Lutz pushed me to make. Remember those? You know what a Saturn Sky Redline is, Archie?
It's the Pontiac. It's the Pontiac.
And a Pontiac Solstice GXP.
Doppelganger.
They made their best cars before they went out of business. That was the first car I drove stick on.
That is one of the slickest
that was
little
a
hot.
Saturn. Wow, yeah,
It was either a Pontiac or a Saturn, and you couldn't tell though, and you didn't care because it was such a sexy little car.
Saturn tried to do quality. Did they do quality, Jay Anthony?
They did.
They legitimately did. I know people that like the S series, the SCs. I know people had them several 100,000 miles. I mean, if you took care of them. But the problem with those cars, you've called it out about Americans. They were bought by people that were making low income, and they just drove them into the ground.
Yeah, guilty, right here. Drove one for 11 years.
Yeah, I love these cars. These are so undervalued right now. I've been debating buying one. These were a Turbo 4. They were pretty fast.
Patel, Philippe, $2. Can you read the Volvo ad out aloud. Yeah, I'll just pull that up there. The Volvo ad. A few car makers, I think we did that. A few car makers who still believe in rear wheel drive in an era when just about everyone seems to be touting front wheel drive as the greatest thing ever to come down the pike. That's GM. They were really pushing front wheel drive. There's one thing you should know. Virtually every car in the world today that's famous for performance and handling uses rear wheel drive. That's a true point. Of course, a Ferrari or Formula One car may not exactly fit your family's driving needs, so why not consider a Volvo Turbo? When it comes to handling and performance, you'll find it leaves a lot of front wheel drive cars bringing up the rear. It's a fair point. Mind you, Saab did a great job with, they were front wheel drive cars. They did some amazing front wheel drive cars. You know, Saab also had 2-stroke engines. I don't know if you know that, Anthony.
Yeah,
J.
on
Anthony.
their old one.
You call
And
me
they
Anthony?
also,
No, I didn't know that. No.
they also
They
made
had a thing called the Saab Sonnet. Saab
yeah, the Sonnet. And the,
Beautiful cars. Yes,
the
those are
Sonnet,
gorgeous.
Sonnet. Well, the Sonnet 1 was 2-stroke powered. The Sonnet 2 had a Ford V4. One of the only V4s ever sold that I know of in America. It was an old tractor engine. And originally they were sold with unlimited engine warranty, like because they'd run forever. But then people blew them up on purpose and shit, and so they canceled that guarantee part. But yeah, the Sonnet 2 fiberglass car had this really unique honeycomb wheels, and was a great little sports car, front wheel drive. My friend had one, and we used to take it and autocross it. And it was a great little car. Sonnets, yep, all the way.
It's I think one of the saddest things is, as a company like Saab does not exist today, and they were really good competition to BMW. They really were a good maker.
I don't know how they
And,
were where you were. They were always considered to be like an architect or like a teacher's car, like the thinker's car. They had like a different.
yes,
Yeah,
upper middle class.
yeah.
They were an upper middle. It was like the Volvo was bought by the successful. Volvo was not cheap, but the Saab
Yeah.
was the cooler version of Volvo, wasn't it? You know.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Saab Scania, they still have the trucks. You know, that was part of the Scania group.
They also make private jets.
They make
yeah.
military aircraft as
Yeah.
well.
Yes,
Yeah,
they do.
The Vigan, very Vigan. Yeah.
It's very sad. Something like Saab survived for so long, and General Motors basically killed them off.
Actually, I would say that GM kept them around until when they went out. They were going to go bankrupt before GM bought them, and then GM just took a loss on them for 20 some odd years. But I agree. I love Saabs. It was sad to see them go. The 9.3 Aero all-wheel drive manual transmission is one of my favorite cars. I've driven them. They're very quirky. They're fun.
I've known some just super diehard people that are about those cars. They're those like Humpty Dumpty Loopy, kind of cars. Just the 9 Series, right? Yeah, people swear by them. They're just like they go forever and just keep on going. And some people are really diehard lovers of those cars.
Yeah, the old 9,000 turbos were cool. The 900s were kind of cool. The Vigans, the 9.3, yeah, they had some cool stuff.
They were one of the first. They were one of the first companies to introduce twin turbocharging. I believe it had a small turbo that then transferred to a big turbo. So you got rid of turbo lag.
Sequential turbos. That's what BMW did with the 355.
Tell Philippe $5. AC3, can you play the clip I sent to your WhatsApp in honor of Canadian Jimmy in the chat? Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I'm just calling this up now. Let's get this clip up on the screen. And,
Arch, I gotta go.
Hey, see you later, Mikey.
Have a good evening. J. Anthony, it's always a pleasure.
1989.
Pleasure, sir.
Seatbelts was a controversial topic.
See you guys later. Have a good night.
Yeah.
In Alberta, it was the last province to enact seatbelt laws, and in this next story, one man fought against them and he won. Here's a look.
An Alberta judge has ruled that the province's seatbelt law is unconstitutional. And tonight, police departments have been told to stop handing out tickets to people who are not buckling up. It's all because of one man who fought the law in court. He said it was a violation of his rights for the province to make seatbelt use mandatory. Whit Fraser reports.
Not long after Alberta's seatbelt law came into effect 18 months ago, Kim Mayer of Calgary challenged it. He believed the government had no right forcing people to use seatbelts. What's more, he argued there are cases where the seatbelts are not safe. The court fight cost Mayer $11,000, and today he won his case before the Court of Queen's Bench.
Gives me faith in the country. I think it's a free country again. I was totally shocked that Alberta would pass a seatbelt law. It just didn't seem like the kind of thing that people in cattle country would take.
There was no doubt 18 months ago the seatbelt law was a hot item in Alberta. Everybody had an opinion. And today, many have an opinion on the Calgary judge's decision.
People should have the right to decide whether they want it or they don't want it. I wish I knew that judge. I'd buy him a bottle for that.
But people who see the outcome of car accidents argue that the belts do prevent injuries and save lives.
You know, seatbelts work. Thanks for the offer.
If you think of the lives it saves and of the cost to society, it is indeed a tragedy for the health of the people of Alberta.
The Alberta government is not giving in. The Attorney General is considering either an appeal or new legislation.
I guess the surprise just comes that a judge actually found that it was contrary to the charter, and we'll just have to now analyze his judgment and proceed with the appeal if we find grounds for it.
Alberta was the last province in Canada to make seatbelts mandatory. Now the government has told police departments not to write any more tickets until the appeal is considered. Whit Fraser, CBC News, Edmonton.
There you go. There you go. And we've got another super chat in here, another super chat in for today. We got GB 20 Mex. Mike the Snake, didn't you drive a Daewoo? A Daewoo. I got to tell you, Jay Anthony, it's been a pleasure having you on the stream there. It's, I got to tell you, General Motors, what's good for General Motors is good for America. That was the thinking. And it's kind of sad. You see the demise of this big sort of thing. But I mean, I'll be honest with you, they really didn't push the envelope. There was a very critical motoring show in Australia in the 70s, and they said, the General Motors product, they're still using drum brakes, still using this. And there were some real valid criticisms of General Motors. They didn't push, like the Europeans were really ahead at those times there. But as you said, General Motors just churned the product out cheaply. That's what they wanted to do. They didn't see the point in changing things. General Motors itself, the sad thing is, when I went to New York, is many General Motors product rust very badly now. The quality really isn't there. I was surprised, like a lot of, because they have very harsh conditions with the snow and the salt, you know, all the grit they put on the road there. A lot of General Motors product falls to bits in no time at all. It's quite shocking. What do you think of that? Is that true, or?
I realized I muted myself, so I'm going to counterpoint you. So GM cars rust, but so do everything else. Mercedes 220s were notorious for rusting under warranty. Their door sills in the US would literally rot out when they were like 3 or 5 years old. The GM criticism that I always hear people that are not Americans make, and I honestly don't agree with it. And I love cars, and I'm all for, you know, disc brakes and quad cam and direct injection and all this stuff. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, it doesn't mean it's inferior, right? So a C5 Corvette, which had a leaf spring suspension that Jeremy Clarkson would say is like an ox cart, and it was a pushrod engine, was able to keep up with cars at the time on a racetrack, and was just as fast and was more reliable and cheaper to run. And so complex is easy, simple is hard. I would rather have a 20-year-old Corvette than a 20-year-old BMW to keep on the road. I know which one's more reliable and which one's good. And so, yes, they were more sophisticated. Doesn't mean they were better. Right? It's like an iWatch is much more sophisticated mechanically than the watches you and I are wearing right now. It has had thousands of designers in Silicon Valley. It tells things that our watch are never going to tell us. But you and I want some mechanical 500-year-old piece of technology on our wrist.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean it's better. I like a quad cam, but a small block Chevy has all the torque down low. Those cars have balls from 1,000 RPMs. They will step out. European cars, you have to rev the crap out of them to go. They make their torque at the higher RPMs. They're less fun to me, honestly.
Yes. Yes. It's the big, Toyota in Australia, virtually the entire range is hybrid.
I believe that. Yeah, your government's pretty strict, I hear.
And it's kind of sad that internal combustion engine, it's not a, I think it's not a terrible way to do cars. I mean internal combustion has some advantages. There's advantages for all sorts of unfortunately we're being pushed into things which I think that's the reason BMW moved away from the straight sixes. They moved to turbo fours. It's emissions, and they had to have certain. This is the reality of it, and plastic. So much plastic. What do you think is a quality car today? What's a quality car today?
So I hear Toyota's having problems, but like I just sold a Lexus GX 460. Those things are bulletproof. I have zero concerns about those whatsoever. The Toyota Land Cruiser, I think, is still a great car. Honestly, Toyota, even with their current teething problems, to me, are in a different millennia or a different universe compared to most cars. It's just the way they build their cars.
Yeah.
I don't worry about Toyotas at all. I think the Koreans honestly have the worst quality now. I know it's an unpopular opinion. I think American cars are better than Hyundai's and Kias long term. Not that that's saying a hell of a lot.
Yes.
I would still take a Cadillac over a BMW out of warranty any day of the week. I'm sorry to say that, but I trust Cadillac more than BMW. But to me, it's Toyota, and then everybody else is dropping on the scale.
What do you think? Do you think sedans will ever come back, or that's gone? Sedans are gone. SUVs is where all the cutting edge is going into, isn't it? SUVs. Everyone wants SUVs. Like Cadillac doesn't really have traditional sedans anymore. It's SUV class of car. Ford, they don't do cars anymore besides the Mustang. They do SUVs and trucks and the Mustang. That's it. It's massive. And they had good things like the Crown Vic. Remember the Crown Vic police department? Everybody, they were indestructible.
Yeah, the 4.6 liter. They go forever.
Yeah. And they go forever because they weren't turbocharged. They weren't cutting edge technology. They were simple.
Well, actually, real quick, that's the Panther platform. Do you know when that platform came out?
No.
The early 80s.
Yes.
That car literally was 30 years with body kits thrown on it. That platform is old. That's why they're reliable.
Yes.
Town car, Grand Marquis, and
Crown
Vic. And they made the Marauder. Do you remember the Mercury Marauder? You ever seen those?
Yes.
They were slow, but they were cool.
Yeah. The thing that makes me laugh is they tried to compare the Mercury to a Mercedes S. What the fuck were those idiots think? Is it completely?
That's embarrassing. Yeah, those are not Mercedes in any respect. Other than they have a lot of plastic.
If you're a Mercedes person, there's no way in the world you'd even consider a Crown, a Marquis, would you? You'd just.
That was what's funny. I'd meet European people and they tell me they had Mercs. I'm like, you have a Mercury? Like, why are you bragging about that? I didn't realize they were referring to Mercedes as Mercs. I'm like,
yes.
Why not would you brag about having a Mercury? No offense, but yeah, I'm with you. They're not the same thing.
Yes. No, that is exactly it there. It's I got to tell you, with my own case with the watches, I'd like to downsize a bit. Let me tell you, Jay Anthony, I want to get rid of the Jaeger. Nothing wrong with the Jaeger LeCoultre, but I'd like to divest.
Yep.
Because how many gold watches, nice top end gold watches, do you want? And the Breguet is another one. I mean, how many do you want? I could use the money the business is changing. Business is changing. It's a very different world that we're in now compared to before. Business is changing a lot, and sometimes you don't need to own everything. You don't need to own everything. Share market's very high. It's a crazy time at the moment. There's a degree of craziness that is just I suppose it's not just unique to cars. Sorry, watches. There's a degree of craziness out there, but
AI, I can tell you, AI is going to change our world, and I don't know in all positive ways, but that's coming very quick. I'm seeing some of it in my business now. That our worlds are. This is like Internet 2.0. It's going to be psycho in the next 5 years. I don't even know what's going to happen, honestly, with you.
Yeah. Well, I think things are changing. Like we're having huge housing crisis in the Western world.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think young people today don't really want to have kids.
I agree with that. Yeah.
And you can't blame them. We've got Doc joining us just as we're wrapping up. Doc, how are you, Doc?
I'm good. I just was concerned. You're still going. You're still going. You're still going. Actually, the reason I came on is because I had an old '66 Corvette.
C2.
A little bit out of college, and I found that the handling of that thing, when you get up to around 100 miles an hour, was no better than a '65 Mustang when I got that at up 100 miles an hour, and both of them were scary as hell. I wouldn't recommend doing that with either of those cars. They're just not great handlers.
No,
nice looking, but not good handlers.
I remember my father used to have a 280Z, and they were also Mark Donahue Javelin said the same thing. Once you got over 100, the whole front got really light, and the car wanted to like take off on you. Is that what yours did? The front got light?
It did that. I found that besides that feel, I also felt like there was excessive vibration for both of them. And actually, the Mustang stayed down better than the Corvette did.
Huh.
Probably makes sense, just because if you look at both of the cars in a wind tunnel, which would you expect to take off? I'd expect the Corvette.
We got Naki joining us.
No. But, hey, don't even think about shortcutting this stream. You got a dream team here. You got Jay Anthony. The chat loves you, Jay Anthony.
I think
they love you. You got Doc. Hey, Archie.
They tolerate me, and then they love Jay.
No, they love you. Did you hear? You know what Tommy told me? Yeah, Tommy can't stand JJ. He goes, you know what I can't stand about JJ? He likes to keep it prim and proper on his channel, and he treats Archie's channel like a glory hole. Glory hole. Glory hole. That's what Tommy said. Anyway, please don't shut the stream down. You're engaged. No, you got nowhere to go. Your wife hates you. Where are you going to go?
Love the Naki. Gotta love
Jonathan, look at the chat light up with your name.
I'll be back in a minute. I'll be back. I'll be back.
Here we go. He's got us. He's got us. You know the chat love you, Jay.
I am enjoying. I love all this car talk and this watch talk. I don't get to do this during the day, so I'm enjoying this.
Yeah, but you're quite smart. You do what Doc does. You come towards the end of the show, so you're not stuck for the whole show. That's smart. That's what Doc does.
I come when I get out of Costco. You know, once I get out of the Costco clinic, then if I can, I come on and. You know, sometimes you have difficult people at Costco and they won't let you leave.
All right, you're losing me now, Doc. For fuck's sake, Costco. Come on. Costco. Got Jay Anthony here. I love this conversation. It's great conversation.
What should we talk about? Give us a topic. What do you want to talk about? What's a favorite car watch?
No. He's not into cars.
No, I'm into cars. I've got a Subaru 99 STI 2-door.
Well, you have a STI?
The original 2-door. I had it originally, sold it.
That's a very nice car.
Yeah, I sold it because we had a lot of carjackings. What happens in Australia, people were stealing those cars, breaking into ram raiding, then taking off in those cars. And the cops couldn't catch them. So suddenly it became the favourite car to carjack. And I just had a kid at that stage. what they were doing is to steal the car. They were hitting you from behind. You got out of the car, and they assaulted you and took off with the car.
Wow.
So I go, fuck this. I don't need this crap. Now, the cops, to counter that, bought some Subarus as patrol cars. They had to get rid of them because the odometers weren't right, weren't accurate. They weren't. The specs weren't up to par. So they had them for about 6 months, and they got rid of them. But on point A to point B, I don't think there's another car that can catch it.
Those are really, I'm assuming the same where you're at. In the US, those are extremely expensive and prized cars now.
I bought mine for $75, about $15,000 over retail when it first came out, because I had the 4-door.
Yeah.
I sold it for 35, 36. I took a loss. Now they're 120 grand.
Yeah, those are very expensive.
Now, lucky I bought one at a good price. A guy had 2 of them. So I bought it, and I love driving it. Now, it's a tinny car. You don't sit there to enjoy the interior. You type of car, you thrash.
Do those have head gasket issues, or no? Are they pretty good?
No problem. I had no problem. It eats up oil. So you got to keep an eye on oil.
But
I
you
haven't
didn't keep
anything
it very long, right? You probably didn't have that many kilometers on it.
No, I didn't have many, but I bought another one, Doc. So I've got another one. So it's a car I sort of just drive around once or twice a week.
Actually, question for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you reminded me of something I totally forgot about. When I used to live in Michigan, they used to have undercover cop cars. They'd had like Corvettes or Camaros that they confiscated from felons, and they turned them into secret cop cars. Do they do that in Australia too?
Yeah, they do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, they don't. They don't because
They
of the
do. They do.
They don't.
They used to call them drug dealer cars.
Interesting thing is I saw on Facebook is that there's the Ford Explorer that they have.
I gotta go. Arch, please don't end the show.
Okay.
Right, by the way, my car's blue. Now, hey, look, keep this going. You got Doc here. You got fucking Jay Anthony.
I'll stay here for 3 weeks. Okay, Naki. I'll stay
All
here.
right. Thank you, Jay Anthony. Thank you, Doc.
I'll stay here for another 5 hours. Okay, Naki. We'll put. They had the Ford Explorer.
Yeah.
There's a special version they use for police. It doesn't have the roof.
There's no roof rack. Yeah, you know your stuff.
and even the undercover cars, that's not available to the domestic market. It's only for the police. So how do you know if you're being tailed by somebody? Has it got the roof rack? Little idiosyncrasies.
Where it gets bad in the U.S. is they sell those to poor people after they're 5 years old, and then you have broke people driving them around and pretending to be cops.
Yes.
I have a family member who's a police officer, and she says that the Ford Explorers have problems with exhaust leak getting into the car. So
through the rear hatch.
I don't know where it's through, to be honest. She just said that a lot of police officers end up with carbon monoxide poisoning, which she also had.
Fuck!
Wow.
Apparently it's because, they'll sit in the car. They'll just sit there with it running for hours.
Well, see, that's possibly why, because it could be designed so that in normal traffic, it's not a problem. But because they're sitting, it's leaking in.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
That's but that's the problem. And not all cars are designed that way, by the way. I mean, most cars are probably designed so that at idle, you're not going to get carbon monoxide in the interior.
So
you know how Jaguar had an emissions thing, right? They had to have so many particles of shit they pump out per millions. Okay. So how did Jaguar solve the problem? They put a vent which pumped air into the emissions before it came out. Just fucking nasty fucking fix. Only the British.
Volkswagen's saying, why didn't we think of that?
Right?
Yeah.
Dieselgate. Yeah. Actually, do me a favor. There was a police car that used to follow me around when I was in Michigan. Look up Bloomfield Hills Police Z06.
Okie dokie. We'll get this up on the screen here.
Our local police department used to have a Corvette Z06 that they would pull people over in.
Oh, I see.
Which model?
Okay, just hang on. I'm just calling it up. Let me get this thing.
I mean,
in
other words, which series?
It was a C5 We're talking mid 2000s at this point, and they had undercover Camaros.
Corvette. What is it called? Just give it to me again. What was it?
Z06 Bloomfield Hills.
Okie dokie. Here we go on the screen now.
Bloomfield Hills Z06 police. Actually, I think I see it on the left side, like down 3. There's like a bike behind it. If you scroll down.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, right there. That's it. They used to have a Corvette Z06, which is the 405 horsepower Corvette as a police car. They used to pull people over with. That was the Detroit way to solve speeding.
That actually looks pretty cool. Like, I wouldn't mind having that car with the livery and everything.
It was
guys,
a beautiful
we got
car.
a super chat. Chris F, $10 super sticker. Okay, guys, I need to wrap this baby up. Contrary to what Narc says there. Thank you so much, Jay Anthony. Thank you, Mike. Yeah. Thank you, everybody who came on the panel. Let's go through the people.
And thanks for giving me my 1 minute. I appreciate it.
Hey, no problem. Sam Davidson, Rich Mitch, Patel Philippe, Rich Mitch, Patel Philippe, Patel Philippe, Patel Philippe. Caruso, IT, Patel Philippe, Patel Philippe, Patel Philippe. Mr. Tudor to you, Patel Philippe, Apes, Patel Philippe, Patel Philippe, Patel Philippe. Gun Glutton, Patel Philippe, Patel Philippe, Patel Philippe, Patel Philippe. Patel Philippe, Jefferson Exotic, Patel Philippe, Patel Philippe, Patel Philippe. Patel Philippe, Thomas Burnett, Dr. Bob's Nightmare. Thomas Burnett, Patel Philippe, Patel Philippe, Patel Philippe, Thomas Burnett, Patel Philippe, Patrick B, Thomas Burnett, Yankee Doodle, Patel Philippe, Thomas Burnett, Patel Philippe, Patel Philippe, Yankee Doodle, Patel Philippe, Patel Philippe, Patel Philippe, Patel Philippe, Dr. Bob's Nightmare, Patel Philippe, Patel Philippe, Patel Philippe, Patel Philippe, Patel Philippe, GB, Chris F. Guys, that is the show for today.
Don't forget to hit the thumbs up and give your appreciation.
Up, everybody, and we will see you tomorrow, guys. We will see you tomorrow. Thank
Exit
you
theme.
so much.